If you think you're too small to make an impact, think of spending some time with a mosquito, and you definitely know what it means to be able to do something, however small. Good morning and welcome to another day on Hello Cameroon. It's our pleasure to know that you're here once again and that we are about to start another 3-hour moment together. We've gone very far to be able to put together the package we have for you, so please stay put. It's a wonderful experience that's about to start, and we've gone in different parts of the country and well beyond. Just stay with us and let's discover together. But first, let's update you on what's been making news in and around the country in the past hours.
Sensitizing school students on the dangers of consuming illicit drugs in school milieu was the major preoccupation of Contact International Cameroon Education and Friendship Association. It has been noticed that school students consume drugs like marijuana, tramol, cocaine, hence an effect on their studies. The authorities of the Yaoundé 4 Council appreciated the initiative and stressed on the fact that measures have been put in place to eradicate drug consumption in school milieu.
To stop or to avoid drug consumption in our council, we think it's a very good thing to sensibilize from the family cellule and in the different establishments.
After sensitizing secondary and primary schools in the Yaoundé 4 municipality, the Yaoundé 2 littoral and the northwest regions are next on agenda for the campaign.
Created in the year 2013 and inaugurated by the Minister of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Social Economy and Handicraft, Professor Laurent Serge Etundingwa, on the 16th of December 2015, the Marwa Handicraft Village is meant to promote the activities of craftspeople in the far north and provide a suitable platform for actors to better market their products. 35 craftspeople from all the 6 divisions of the far north have, since the inaugural of this village, taken hold of their technical know-how to exhibit all types of products ranging from kitchen utensils to textile products as well as hide and skin products.
We have 3 types of products. We have shoes, men's shoes, women's shoes, and these products are products with skin which is locally. We use the skin of many animals like the sheep.
Also on exhibition are processed food items from products like ginger and pepper.
In this shop we have pepper and ginger. We use it for many diseases like hypertension. This one is the package of rice. We cultivate it here in the far north region.
Unfortunately, these products have remained unsold for several months because of the lack of visitors, which is also explained by the fact that the village is far from the city center. The coordinator of the village, Rene Mumu, hinted that it is because of this low-key nature of business in the village that the exhibitors are not paying anything for the upkeep of the village. They are hoping that the village will gather the same effervescence noticed at the Marwa Handicraft Center, a community venture located for decades in the city center near the Central Market.
The capacity building workshop on rainfall rice cultivation that took place in the locality of Ndembe 1 in the subdivision of Belabo for the rice farmers in the East region did not end on the benches. The farmers were taken to the demonstration farm where theory was put into practice in the presence of the East regional delegates for the economy, that of agriculture, and their counterpart of scientific research and innovation, the latter being the organizer.
We are here in Andom to show how to plant rice with new technology which we have in our ministry.
Cultivating rainfall rice on dry land, just like maize and other crops, is a dream come true for most of the rice farmers in the East region who were faced with enormous difficulties while cultivating on marshy area and low land. The climate of the East, the farmers were told, is favorable to rainfall rice cultivation, and if they go by the rules, the yields will be high.
1 hectare you can have like 3 tons like this if you respect the practice.
With the promise of the government to make available the improved rainfall rice seeds to the farmers of the East region, the ball is now at their court if they have to come out of poverty.
This is what happened today in the Sabongari neighborhood after the heavy pour of rain in Garoua. When it rains like this, we don't sleep because the water carries even beds and couches. There is water everywhere, even walls and houses. Flooding has almost become a tradition in this part of the country, leaving many families in great ruins and sometimes homeless. Water almost got into the living room. We had to burst the wall to let water out, and we called firefighters. The Marawe neighborhood was not left out. The case with this house, which is overflooded. The populations blame it on poor constructions and the unauthorized settlement of some people in urban areas. However, following weather forecasting, the rains are still to come. Thus, populations are called to be watchful.
Une buée de sauvetage plutôt sur sol. Au cœur des opérations de secours, la directrice de la protection civile au ministère de l'administration territoriale et de la décentralisation. Au terme de la simulation, c'est l'ensemble du comité mixte de crise du Ndonga-Menton qui sort outillé pour faire face aux situations d'urgence de toute nature.
La première chose à faire, c'est de ne pas paniquer. S'il y a glissement de terrain, la première des choses à faire, c'est de savoir qu'il y a la zone rouge, sécuriser la zone rouge, alerter de telle sorte que personne d'autre ne puisse aller dans cette zone-là.
En aval, le département dispose désormais de son arsenal dénommé Plan d'organisation de secours, tout un document.
Le préfet est le directeur des opérations de secours et au cas où il y a une unité de sapeurs-pompiers dans le département, le responsable de cette unité sera le commandant des opérations de secours. Et après, chaque intervenant, tel que nous l'avons vu dans l'élaboration du plan ORSEC, a un rôle particulier à jouer.
Le plan ORSEC, élaboré en Cambé au terme de 3 jours d'exposés et d'ateliers, vient ici à point nommé.
Le plan ORSEC du département nous apportera beaucoup de facilité à gérer nous-mêmes certaines catastrophes. Je citerai par exemple les inondations dans les bas-fonds, les coups de tonnerre que nous enregistrons presque tous les jours à Messager.
Le plan ORSEC du Ndonga-Menton est initié par la direction de la protection civile du ministère de l'administration territoriale et de la décentralisation et s'inscrit dans le programme national de sécurisation et de réhabilitation du lac Nyos où une émanation du gaz fait 1800 morts le 21 août 1986.
Bafoussam, Batié, Baham et Bayangam sont les localités les plus affectées par les fissures de la chaussée qui se sont agrandies en faille pour aboutir à l'affaissement de la route pourtant réfectionnée il y a 2 ans.
Il s'agit d'un phénomène géologique, donc d'un glissement de terrain. C'est un phénomène qui a été lent et progressif, ce qui fait que ça n'a pas eu des impacts sur les vies humaines et les impacts sur les biens des usagers.
Pour les populations riveraines, il faut désormais emprunter les voies de contournement pour allier la ville de Bafoussam à partir de Dunang vers Toket, Umbo par Banjoun.
Les populations auront trop discuté, surtout au niveau de l'agriculture, pour acheminer leurs produits au niveau du marché, et aussi les enfants pour aller à l'école. Ils n'auront pas de possibilité d'aller aisément.
Les administrations sectorielles que sont les travaux publics, les télécommunications, l'eau et l'énergie ont été appelées à travailler en harmonie par le gouverneur Awafonka Augusti.
Nous avons un problème d'eau parce que le système d'adduction d'eau est aussi affecté, ainsi que la fibre optique. Donc je suis là avec les régionaux. On va continuer à se concerter pour trouver des solutions provisoires avant d'entrer en jeu des travaux lourds pour pouvoir rétablir ce trafic entre Bafoussam et Bamidjo.
Le temps d'une visite préfectorale, l'arrondissement de Biwomboulou est sorti de sa discrétion et de sa torpeur. L'esplanade de la mairie locale est noire de monde à l'arrivée du préfet Rachel Ngazan.
L'autorité administrative ne peut véritablement jeter les bases de son action sans connaître le milieu dans lequel elle est appelée à évoluer, à exercer ses fonctions. Je suis donc venue à Biwomboulou dans cette optique.
Lorsque se taisent les flonflons de la célébration, Biwomboulou replonge dans son atmosphère de zone reculée. L'activité paysanne reprend droit de cité. À Biwomboulou, l'intégration nationale est palpable.
Que toutes les populations de Biwomboulou sont sorties, les femmes comme les hommes comme les jeunes, les adultes, même les aveugles, les gens qui ont des incapacités physiques.
Les populations de Biwomboulou partagent les mêmes joies, mais aussi les mêmes peines. Les services sociaux de base et les commodités du monde moderne sont rares dans cet arrondissement.
Il y a des préoccupations que nous devons porter à l'attention de la haute hiérarchie. Il y a aussi des préoccupations pour lesquelles nous allons porter un examen minutieux.
Progressivement, Biwomboulou voit ses problèmes résolus. Pour la preuve, la route non bitumée Ebolo à Biwomboulou, hier impraticable, fait aujourd'hui le bonheur des populations locales.
Au quartier Mi-Iris à Bongari de Garoua, ce sont plusieurs familles sans abri qui tentent désespérément de sauver ce qui leur reste comme effet de l'inondation due à la forte pluie diluvienne qui vient de s'abattre à Garoua.
Les murs, les maisons, l'eau partout dans les maisons. On ne dort même plus. Quand il pleut comme ça, on se lève, ça mouille tous les machines, même les lits, les bancs, ça porte les canapés.
La montée des eaux n'a pas épargné le quartier Marouaré où plusieurs habitations sont envahies par les eaux.
En moins, ils sont entrés dans le salon, on est obligé de percer le mur pour évacuer l'eau. On est obligé d'appeler aussi les sapeurs-pompiers pour intervenir. On est inquiet tous les jours. On ne peut plus voyager, même si on est dehors, même si on a envie, si menace, on est obligé de rentrer parce qu'on ne sait pas ce qui va arriver à notre famille.
Cette fois, les populations pointent un doigt accusateur sur l'occupation anarchique de l'espace urbain.
Il est prévu un drain ici, des canalisations. S'il faut respecter que l'eau passe naturellement, ça nous arrange, et sinon comme ça nous sommes à la portée de la mort.
Pour l'heure, la situation reste préoccupante, d'autant plus que la météo annonce d'importantes précipitations dans les jours à venir. La vigilance reste donc de mise.
Welcome back to Hello Cameroon, and thank you for choosing to wake up with the CRTV. If you are watching us, you need to know that you are very dear to us, and we are going to go very far and make the round tour to make sure that you are entertained and that you are happy, and that most importantly, you have the necessary ingredients to start a day. Today is a Tuesday like none other. It's up to you to paint it in the color that you want, especially if today is your birthday. Now let's take you down memory lane. I want to take you to the birthplace of Ali Ali Baba, the musician of the 90s who used to make us dance so well. He was a choreographer, but also a wonderful singer. But we are not talking about Ali Baba today. We're talking about a group from Garwa that came together in the 90s and is still a sensation today. Please discover or rediscover the Fada Kautau with us.
Initially named Kautau, meaning union in Fulfulde, Fada Kautau is one of the few brands from the north of Cameroon, more precisely from the town of Garoua. The story goes that soon after its creation, the band moved to Douala as Makossa star Tom Yom's promised to help them record a first album. Although this did not materialize, they stayed in Douala and gave performances at events. In 1993, they won an award and released their first song in 1995. Two other ones, Derkejo and Kilante, were to follow and propulse the group to the heights of stardom. Talking about Derkejo, here is a special throwback moment. Just sit back and reminisce.
They do to me their kaku amande sekon. Igamali Niger, jottu mi lesti Senegali. Hande de sembeti minute in mi der lesti baba. Wayo, 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 wayo. Mali, Ayel Tilesti Niger, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Diga Burkina Faso, mi water Tilesti Zaire, Waiko Kokante Bestemia, Demi Subject
Welcome back on Hello Cameroon. I hope you are enjoying the rhythm. That's the tone of this morning. And please pick it up with us and enjoy the day. Now let's take you into our plant world. What is Powerfight telling us about our environment, about the riches or the wealth of our natural environment today? Discover with me.
Welcome to Hello Cameroon this morning. All Tuesday mornings are always beautiful Tuesday mornings. And today we are discussing another plant that I still call wonderful plant because of what it does on human beings and even animals. Here, look at it very well. We call this plant in my language Banjim. Banjim means red back. This way it is green and behind it is red. This is a wonderful plant with a long history. Hello Cameroon is giving you this plant. For those who treat compound fractures and they need some other additional things, plants to add, and mostly women, because the plant is so good for problems of amenorrhea. Let me just cut it so that you understand better. Women who have continuous menses, women who have not reached the age of menopause and they don't see their menses, women who have growth internally, this is your solution. Hello Cameroon is bringing you this plant, this wonder plant, magic plant as other women call it, because it has performed miracles to the best of my knowledge. Look at it well, please. Let me start with those who have compound fracture and or those who treat compound fracture. You can get this other part of it, but this one is still young. Now, here you have it. You cut. You see this stem that have come with ridges. That is what you beat. You can add with umbericum. You put on the person who is having that compound fracture and you tie it with a mat. In fact, this is what the people around Bamum, the Bamum people, because it was discovered by a Bamum hunter from one of the monkeys that he shot. Today, I want to focus my attention on amenorrhea, that is the women's problem. A woman who is having continuous menses and finding it very, very difficult to stop, she's not feeling at ease at all. You take this plant, warm it. Listen carefully. I'm not telling you that you go and boil it. I'm talking about warming it on fire. Because if you don't warm it on fire, it is going to be a bit difficult. Now, when I talk fire, I don't want you to use your gas cooker. The charcoal is better, or the firewood or wood ash. You can just put it on hot wood ash. You see this leaf will shrink. And when it shrinks, you can now squeeze. You squeeze well, get good quantity. When you squeeze it well, that is the friction, then you squeeze it like this well. Let it come out in drops. No matter, even if it is a third, the quantity is a third of a glass, 1/3 of a glass, no problem. You squeeze well and you take it. Please don't add water, because most people, when they add water, they start having problems and they say, oh no, it's not responding to treatment. No, don't add water. Squeeze it like this and then take the liquid that has come out of it. When I say warm it, it is because if you don't warm it, as you squeeze, now when you want to friction like this, you realize that the leaves are cutting and going out, you're not having the liquid. So that's why it is good for you to warm. That procedure continues even when you don't have menses and you've not reached the age of menopause. You squeeze and you take continuously for some time, some weeks, you realize that your menses start coming out. It also, those who don't have, their menses is not regular, that is irregular menses, you squeeze this and you take, and it is going to regulate it. 2, if you have growth internally, don't be surprised, because what I'm telling you is from my experience at my center. You squeeze the same and you take, it comes out. That's why some people call it the magic plant. But it is a wonderful plant for you women. Some of you who complain about, that you have pains around your waist, this plant is a good plant. Some will tell you, no, it's a worm that is moving up and down. Take this plant as I've prescribed, as I've shown you, and you realize that the pain will go down. So for you women who are having problems, menstrual problems, you can take this plant. But if it is menstrual pain, I will show you the plant later on Hello Cameroon. But for today, it controls your menstrual cycle. No matter the pain, when it's underneath, it treats it. For this Tuesday morning, it's a wonderful day to you. Hello Cameroon! Thank you.
Hello, Parfai. Woman Palava, it's a whole topic. Somebody should write a book this thick about it. Thank you, Parfai, for helping us to tell us this morning how we can begin to solve some of those problems that come with women issues. Enough said before we get into red zones. That's it on Plant World for this morning. But if you want to get some more, join us about the same time next week. That'll be a Tuesday, and Parfai will be again on Hello Cameroon to tell you about the secrets of plants that we see around our homes and around our environment. Now let's talk a little bit about education. I have with me Tabe Williams. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. You're here to talk about CITEC HITM, which is a Higher Institute of Learning.
Yes.
Do you want to first of all just present to us what CITEC HITM is all about?
Yeah, so thank you. CITEC is an excellent center of learning where we offer 3 different schools. We have a diploma program that runs for 1 year, and it is approved by the Minister of Employment and Vocational Training. So when you are with us with our diploma programs, you have programs like bilingual secretariatship, hardware management, hardware maintenance, and others. We have a 2-year HND HPD program, which is approved by the Ministry of Higher Education. When you are with us there, you do accountancy, banking and finance, human resource management, and other programs. After which, if you want to further your education, we had a memorandum of association with the University of Bamenda, where you will do a 1-year bachelor's degree program, which your certificate will be given by the University of Bamenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand you also do distance learning.
Yes.
That's kind of new in Cameroon. How do you operate it?
Well, we do like what people who do online programs abroad do. You can be in Cameroon and study even in the USA, and your certificates are valid. So we do the same. What we do is if you are, let's say, in Bamenda or even out of the country and you want to study with CITEC, but you cannot be in CITEC or in Yaoundé, we can arrange programs with you where you have specific programs with professors who lecture you online.
Okay. Yeah. And is it very costly to...
No, it's not costly. It's not costly.
I like the way you jump to say no, it's not costly. Do you want to reassure us?
We know that people think that professional education is very expensive and very costly, but I assure you CITEC is not costly. Even the grass-field man can send the child to school when you come to CITEC.
Okay.
We understand the economic breakdown and the economic problems in Cameroon and in Africa, so we make it moderate for everybody.
Tell me a little bit more about your School of Technology. It should need a lot of resources to run a program on technology.
Yes.
How equipped are you?
No, we have an up-to-date lab, if I can put it that way. Computer laboratory, we have a battery of 4 of them. in campus and out of campus. We have partners out of the country, in Canada, in the US, and in Europe, who help us with the technology.
Okay. And when you study in your school, what kind of professions are open to you? Just paint us a picture of the kind of future that is open to people who study.
Well, I want to first of all wipe an impression. People think that when you go to professional school and you come out, you may not have jobs and all those things. I want to say professional schools pay, especially CITEC, not to do some sort of publicity, but I can tell you that about 80 to 85% of our students are working. And with big companies, we have students working in MTN, Orange Cameroon, and other big companies around. So when you are in CITEC, because we have qualified teachers, professors for that matter, and I can tell you they are really qualified and best in the country.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one more question. Tell me about, you said your courses are tailored to suit the needs of your students. Yeah. How do you package them? Do you want to maybe help us through understanding how you package those courses? Well, do you have lecturers who sit with the students to ask their needs?
Yes,
yes. How do you go about
What we
packaging?
do is like last week, because we have started already, and last week, the whole of last week, we were doing orientation. Okay. So we do a 1-week orientation program where we try to first of all know who our students are. We try to know their limitations and their challenges. So when we employ teachers, we try to give them we paint them an image of what a student is facing, so that when you are teaching that student, you are teaching him in line with what first of all the Cameroonian society is all about, what the economic or the business or employment sector is all about in Cameroon and in Africa or in any part of the world, and you teach a student how he can supersede his challenges.
Okay. Yeah. And any last word, any message? I'm sure some people watching you are still wondering what is new, what factor would be additional if they come to your school. What would be your final message?
Thank you. First of all, I want to say that for this year, we have introduced transport and logistics, which is very lucrative and a very good program for people who want to do international businesses and all that. It's good to always understand the laws and the principles that govern transport and every other, which good is allowed and not allowed in which country and why, and those things. So we have introduced a very lucrative program, transport and logistics. So we are encouraging everybody. Parents, please send your children to CITEC if you want the best, or you want them to become the best in Cameroon.
Thank you very much, Tabe Williams, for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to ask you a question that we are asking you out there, and it's our talking point of today. What is your perfect color for a wedding? What do you think the bride should wear? A white, a pink, I don't know, blue?
Well, everybody has his or her color.
Yes.
So a bride it is her day, so she should choose what she would like. But for me,
if it were you and you had to choose for her,
I would ask her to put on white.
Why?
Because white is my favorite color.
White is your favorite color?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say white because it's pure or whatever. Anybody will be saying. Thank you so much for coming on the program. I want you to look at my basket and tell me if anything speaks to you. Today is your day. We'll treat you like a king. Anything?
Bananas.
Banana. All right. It looks like you have a busy day ahead, though. Do you have a very busy day ahead?
We say banana is good for men because he adds. Anyway, I'm not about.
He didn't finish it, but don't worry. That's what we'll do on Hello Cameroon. We'll give you a bit, then we'll force you to come towards us to get it. He says banana is good for men. Stay with us. Someday you'll know why. Thank you very much, Tabe Williams, for coming on Hello Cameroon. And please keep updating us about what you're doing.
Thank you.
Do you do karate by any chance?
I did it when I was in Sunday school, but now I'm very heavy.
Okay, and did somebody trash you though? Because karate is about trashing people.
Anyway, my masters used to trash me.
Oh, okay. Well, just a little bit of thrashing, but much more of learning. Valentine Gomesa is telling us about karate on Hello Cameroon today. Thank you.
This is not some neighborhood of Peking in China. We are here in the center of the East Regional capital, mpeg4. These youngsters have chosen to pass the holidays practicing martial arts under the gentle supervision of black belt laureate Fola Xavier, a professional heavy trucks mechanic who finds time to groom the next generation of potential karatecas. His son is a famous black belt holder and karate champion. Now his daughter is following in his footsteps, and she made a point of proving to us her bilingual upbringing.
He was a karateka when he was 5 years old. He started to do karate, and maybe I will not be alive if his teacher was not dead. Maybe I will not be alive, because he was supposed to go in Europe to do karate. But when one week before he was supposed to go, his teacher died. That is why he stayed in mpeg4. He was not alone in mpeg4. He was in Yaoundé. That's why he came and stayed in mpeg4. He married my mother and he has her children. It's like in school. You have to know step by step. In school, we started the primary school, class 1, class 2, up to university. It's like karate. You have to start when you are new. You have to start You have to start by doing yoi, mishipidashi, hey, all these things. Before we start with eye choking, maigeri, mahashigeri.
En tant qu'instructeur, je les parle vraiment en ce qui concerne ce karaté en profondeur. J'ai espoir que les jeunes de demain par l'impulsion de notre président qui est Maître Wakam Emmanuel, à qui je tire d'abord un très grand coup de chapeau parce que, honnêtement parlant, il a sorti le karaté dans l'ombre.
I have hope in the youth of today.
Je pense que, en tant qu'entraîneur,
considering the support from our regional president, Grandmaster Wakam Emmanuel, to whom I doff my hat from bringing karate in the open here in the East. As regional karateka head, I'm bound to give him support. My wish is that karate will achieve importance in the same way football is today.
En formant les jeunes enfants dans les régions pour pouvoir amener au niveau national et qu'on puisse les propulser au niveau interne.
I want to be an inspector with working with and a scientist with working with police.
Okay. And then you think your karate will help you there?
Yes, karate will help me there.
The youths of the East Regional Capital are indeed making the best of their free time while strengthening their muscles in the process.
Story of destinies, and we are sincerely hoping that as we wake up with you this morning, you will develop more desire to find out what kind of destinies ahead of you and either embrace it or work harder to do better. We're hoping that you're having a beautiful day with us. It's just it's the first hour of our experience. We'll still have 2 hours plus to go, so stay with us. Now let's talk. We're still talking back to school on Hello Cameroon, and recently as school started, over 900 students, Central African children who are in the refugee camp when we started school in class 1 and in class 2 in Cameroon at the Ngam refugee camp. We have Elise Wanji Bamia, who was at that camp and is telling us what he saw and heard.
It is often said education is the key and solid foundation to the building of any strong society. The Cameroonian government and some of its partners have understood this principle and are doing everything to offer quality education not only to the citizens but also to refugees, especially from the Central African Republic. We are in a special educational structure at the heart of the Ngam refugee camp, Menganga subdivision, Bere division of the Adamawa. The structure hosts some 954 refugee children from the Central African Republic who are beginning the 2017-2018 school year, like several other children in the country.
Avec ces enfants, nous avons un programme camerounais, programme officiel que nous menons face à ces enfants.
With these children, we have a well-defined and official program which is similar to what all other peoples in Cameroon are doing. It is true they have some difficulties to adapt, but we have undergone the necessary training to make them understand the lessons and know the importance of education.
Comprendre l'école et comment adapter aussi l'enseignement à leur niveau.
Just like every normal school around the country, classes effectively resumed in the special educational structure at the refugee camp with 419 girls and 535 boys separated between classes 1 and 2. However, regrouping these Central African Republic children was not an easy task as teachers of the structure met with stiff resistance from the parents. When we first talked about education to our Central African Republic brothers and sisters, they thought it was a curse and a taboo. They prefer to talk only about Islam and many other economic activities. The problem of late coming. Also, after the short break, most pupils do not return to class as they are held back by parents to help them at home.
C'est ça que nous rencontrons comme difficulté.
In the face of these challenges, the Cameroonian government, alongside its partners, are putting in efforts to ensure a good education for the refugee children.
On dote ces étapes des tables bancs
We offer benches to this special educational structure, and with the help of the Ministry of Basic Education, we recruited teachers. We gave these teachers the necessary materials to effectively do their job. We also sensitized the parents on the importance of educating their children.
Nous sommes là personnel de plan pour faire le suivi.
We move from one block of the camp to the other to sensitize parents on the need of sending their children to school. We hold monthly meetings during which we evaluate our activities. These efforts are seemingly yielding fruits as the special educational structure at the Ngam refugee camp takes care of refugee children in classes 1 and 2 before they are enrolled into the Ngam Public Primary School to continue with their education.
Toutes les activités pédagogiques dont bénéficient les enfants camerounais, eux aussi ils en bénéficient. Il n'y a donc pas une nuance entre ces enfants réfugiés.
In every pedagogic activity, we involve Cameroonian peoples with the refugees. There is actually no difference as we practice the inclusive educational principle. Whenever there is a gift from an NGO or the government, we share it equally. It is true the refugees suffered on their way here, but once they arrive, we let them know that they are with their brothers and sisters.
Ces enfants, comme vous les voyez autour de moi, sont à l'aise, ils sont très bien entretenus, ils sont très bien suivis. D'ailleurs, eux-mêmes peuvent le témoigner.
For the school year 2017-2018, the structure has recorded some 954 pupils, all from the Central African Republic, who shall receive effective lessons throughout the school year. So it is often said education is the key to success. For that reason, these refugees, these little ones from the Central African Republic, have not been left out as far as the 2017-2018 school year is concerned. As a matter of fact, schools have actually resumed effectively at the Ngam refugee camp.
Thank you very much, Ellis Waji, for that report. And now, in a short while, we'll be adding some color on the program with a little report on culture. Actually, one of us, Gwendolyn Egbe, was part of an event to mark the recent appointment of Chief Epuli to the as president of the judicial bench of the Supreme Court. And she says the people of Kupe Maninguba have an exceptional way of celebrating achievement. We'll be giving you that report in a short while. Just time for me to share this message that has come in with you. We're asking you today to comment on the color you think is the best for a bride to wear on a wedding day. Is it white? Is it pink? Would it be brown? Or I dare not say black? Or if you choose black, you should tell us why. And if you do not know our number, this is it, 66303-9233. 66303-9233. This message is coming from Benkom Pilot Yisi Kiba from Douala. He says, in my opinion, I think it is the couples who should determine the color of their wedding. But as for me, a mixture of red and white should do. Greetings to the entire Benkom family and the Hello team. Thank you very much for your generous heart, and keep your messages coming in. Want to know what is a typical color for a bride in your opinion and why? Now let's have this moment of color with how Kupe Maninguba celebrates achievement. Gwendolyn Egbe reporting.
If they were here on this day, it is because one of their sons had been recognized. Recognition is all about acknowledging and empathizing with someone. With his promotion came the need to celebrate. Chief Epuli has given another reason, not just for the people of the Southwest region to be thankful, but most especially those from Kupe Maninguba. How regal he looks in his uniform. The journey is about to begin. With dancing from Behon, the highest and maybe most feared male secret society of the Bakosi people, he was ushered out of the Supreme Court. Time to move over to the grandiose reception prepared for Chief Ipoli by friends and family. Inside, guests were seated with expectant faces, awaiting the celebrant. And he did make an entrance, surrounded by the members of Beon.
If your legs are not too heavy, feel free to rise for this solemn occasion. Thank you. Can we put our hands together for the chief?
All settled, it was time to call on the Almighty. The respect for culture and tradition has never deterred our reverence for God. Then to the speech making.
For all these blessings and more, we gather here today to manifest our joy and give thanks, first of all, to the Almighty God for His gracious mercy.
I wish, on behalf of myself and my family, to thank all of you for taking the trouble to come and see with us how we can smile, how we can sing, how we can laugh, how we can celebrate this gift that has come from His Excellency the Head of State.
Time to raise a toast to the newest president of the judicial bench of the Supreme Court. Round by music, then some traditional rites. After all said and done, the body needed to be fed. What next? Time to go.
That was a very beautiful moment there on Hello Cameroon. Thank you very much, Gwendolyn Egbe, for sharing that with us and our viewers this morning. Let me read one of your messages and then we commit. We're back to it again. It looks like every September, October, we commit. You know, like soldiers say that we will die for you. That's you know, almost it. We're not yet sure we'll put our throat down there, but we are committing to serving you better. This message is coming from Tar Randibeth, and he says, white is good because it symbolizes light, purity, and love. Did he just step into my trap there? Because I need you to expatiate on purity and white. I cannot buy it though, but for those who don't, do you want to explain more? When you are like Pochi and you're getting married, you wear white and you say it's for purity. What would be your explanation? Or if you wear pink, you wear purple. There's a lady who's watching me, and very soon you'll be hearing from her. Diane Gassa, I'm announcing that she's already here, and we'll be having news shortly. But first, let's commit. The whole team of CRTV standing behind the faces you know and the voices you know to say, we are only going to serve you better. Stay with us.
Parce que l'info n'attend pas. We bring it to you firsthand.
Because
because your life is dynamic.
Nous nous adaptons à vos attentes.
Parce que vous méritez ce qu'il y a de mieux.
We are up to date with technology. Parce que vous êtes mobile.
We bring the news to you wherever you are.
Vous êtes notre miroir.
Nous vous montrerons le monde like you've never seen it before.
Parce que vos victoires sont les nôtres. We are on all fronts.
Because you are precious.
En 2017, partageons ce que nous avons de mieux.
CRTV, au cœur de la nation.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for watching the morning newscast on national television. On today's agenda, a mission of Chinese economic actors is in Yaoundé. They will be meeting with Cameroonian entrepreneurs to create partnerships ahead of the Economic and Industrial Forum scheduled for December 2017 in China. We open our news file with this story from New York, where debates on the 72nd UN General Assembly kick off today. Prior to the opening talks, Cameroon has participated at two high-level meetings, one on the forum of the UN and other on sexual abuses during peacekeeping missions. Cameroon's Minister of External Relations and the Director of the Civil Cabinet represented President Paul Biya at the discussions. Details with George Iwane.
Although the day is wet and cold, the hearts are dry and warm, full of expectations that for once the United Nations may be reformed for the interest of all nations. The quickening steps of the delegates, the catchy shots of reporters speak of the hope that one day peacekeepers will remain peacekeepers during missions and not sexual abusers as accused lately. Prior to the official opening of the general debates at the United Nations General Assembly this Tuesday, the two high-level meetings scheduled this Monday are preparatory grounds to kick-start this year's global Come Together. The meetings are on the reform of the United Nations and on sexual abuses, with emphasis on abuses during UN peacekeeping missions in the world. The two discussions holding at the ECOSOC room of the United Nations building and at the Delegates Hall are in tandem with this year's theme, namely focusing on people striving for peace and a decent life for all on a sustainable planet. President Paul Biya, who arrived in New York Sunday, is upbeat about the UN 72nd session, while he prepares his statement at the United Nations rostrum come Friday, 22nd September 2017. The head of state is solidly represented, like other leaders, at today's high-level meeting on the reform of the United Nations organization. Lejeune Mbella, Cameroon's Minister for External Relations, and Martin Bellinga-Ebutu, Minister, Director of the Civil Cabinet of the President of the Republic, are sitting in for Mr. Biya. The reform of the United Nations has been a subject of discourse over the past several years at the United Nations. Many have agreed to disagree on the subject. Cameroon's position on the reform of the United Nations is in line with that of the African Union, especially as concerns the Security Council. The African Common Position, referred to as the Ezulwini Consensus, is in fact very clear. Africa is the only continent not represented as permanent member of the Security Council, which plays the role of the international gendarme. Over 80% of the Security Council operations are in Africa, yet Africa has no say in the decisions concerning its continent. Paul Biya and his African peers, therefore, press for at least 2 permanent seats with veto power within the Security Council of the United Nations and 5 non-permanent seats for Africa. This position was reaffirmed in July 2005 and remains unchanged. How possible that is remains a bone of contention and great debate, given that the permanent members have to all agree on such a reform. Difficult, therefore. Lojen Belambela and Martin Bellinga-Ebutu are carrying the Cameroonian and African voice at today's high-level meeting on the reform of the United Nations. On their path, they have the 5 permanent members with veto powers, and that is a Herculean task. Be it as it may, the 72nd UN General Assembly is expected to be heated, especially at a time when UN peacekeepers are constantly blamed for sexual abuses during peace missions. Paul Biya, on his part, continues to savor the hilarity of the welcome of Cameroonians on Sunday as he goes through his statement, dotting the I's and cutting the T's. George Wano, special assignment for Cell TV News, the United Nations.
Senate President Marcel Njifenji has received in audience a delegation from La Francophonie. The delegation, led by Désiré Kadri-Ouedraogo, is in charge of monitoring the electoral process in the country. The Senate President and the delegation discussed on how La Francophonie can assist Cameroon in organizing the upcoming 2018 elections. Let's have details of that story with Charles Anangwe.
It was at about 12 noon on Monday, September 18, 2017, that the visiting delegation from the Francophonie, led by its president, in charge of the monitoring of the electoral process in Cameroon, Désiré Kadri-Ouedraogo, was received in audience by Senate President Marcel Njifenji. The delegation head briefed Senate President on their mission to Cameroon.
We have been dispatched by the Secretary General of La Francophonie to come and assist the government of Cameroon for the electoral process. We are here for an information mission, so our duty is to listen to all the actors in order to apprehend all the threats to the electoral process and possibly to make recommendations to the government and people of Cameroon to achieve peaceful and credible elections.
The head of the Francophonie mission told Senate President Marcel Njifenji that they will listen to all the stakeholders involved in the electoral process in the country.
It is a long-term mission. We are just starting, and we are willing to listen to everybody so that we can see how the Francophonie can assist Cameroon to succeed to these elections.
The monitoring, according to Mr. Ouedraogo, will take place before, during and after the proclamation of the result of the different elections billed for 2018.
Another incident on our highways. Circulation on the Yaoundé-Douala road was disrupted due to a metal culvert that was almost collapsing around Bombay. All night, public works officials have been on site to repair the metal culvert with the hope of making circulation fluid again. A picture of activities at Bombay with our reporter, Beatrice Ngum.
An uncommon scene on the Douala Highway, loads of heavy-duty trucks grounded on both sides of the road. Passengers forced out of vehicles to cover a few kilometers across on foot, and buses empty. This is what the cracks on the tar, suggesting an imminent collapse of the degraded metal culvert underneath at a Bombay on the National Road Number 3 has reduced traffic to.
The broken bridge really causes inconvenience. You see all these trucks. You know, the trucks are heavily loaded, so to cross the place, the small bridge have to go down. So they have to stop them on the way the lighter cars have to pass.
The metal culvert on the road between Edeya and Puma is threatening to collapse with the rains. Commuters are bearing the brunt.
I've been here for about an hour now. I will be forced to take more than the normal period I have to take, because from adding an hour or two to what I have to take will be maybe 6 hours now to Douala, which is difficult.
Gendarmes are on the side ensuring security measures are respected. A team from the Ministry of Public Works, led by the minister, has been to the site for an appraisal of the situation. Meanwhile, public work engineers are carrying out survey works on the site, evaluating the damage. Off camera, engineers say prior to their evaluation, they will know how much time it will take to rebuild the culvert and make this stretch of the road passable again. For the meantime, plans to create a bypass have progressed.
Very difficult for people traveling these days, but we just hope everything is going to come back to normal. That report takes us to the end of this morning newscast. Thanks for your kind attention. More news comes up at 8 a.m. with Marie-Laurence Nke in the French language, and you'll be meeting me here tomorrow exactly at 7 o'clock. While Pochi is here to come again with the second segment of Hello Cameroon.
Thank you very much, Diane Gassa, and we are wishing you a beautiful day ahead.
Thank you.
It's the early hour of the day. How are you feeling like that?
I feel good. You know, it's fresh in the morning.
Yes, it is. It is fresh. And it's also like the start of something, so you want to start it well.
Exactly.
Anyway, thank you for starting it with us. We hope and wish that it will be a wonderful day for you. Look at the basket. Anything speaking to you?
I want some bananas this morning.
Let me ask you to serve yourself.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right.
It's always good to come when Pochi is around.
Oh, flatter me. There is actually a viewer who advised us to henceforth use napkins. So don't be surprised. You'll be seeing maybe pink. What color of napkin should I use? You should have told us, you know. But from next Thursday, we'll use napkins so that we should, you know, promote hygiene as well. Have a beautiful day.
A better one for you.
I'm going to send you out with this song, which is about journalists. It's called, Mr. Classic. He was on the program last week, and we chose to bring back this song so you can savor it. It's a song that talks about journalism, about journalists, their challenges, their story, all in rhythm. Please enjoy.
Mr. Classic, ladies and gentlemen. Believe records. Call me the newsman. Call me Doki. Call me the journalist. Oh, I am exemplary. Appelez-moi newsman. Appelez-moi Doki. Monsieur le journaliste. Cause I am exemplary. I'm just a messenger. A servant of the people, a messenger, voice of the voiceless, I'm a messenger, revolutionary making, bringing freedom to the masses.
90 American soldiers have arrived in Cameroon to help the fight against the militant group Boko Haram.
As I go over my news gathering, with my pen, my recorder, sometimes my camera, I always try to write, balance stories, get my people out of misery. I write the stories, let them master their history. I work for radio, newspaper, television, say no to prejudice, no. I have a vision and my mission is call me the newsman, call me Doki, call me the journalist. Cause I am exemplary. Appelez-moi newsman. Appelez-moi Doki. Monsieur le journaliste. I'm just a messenger. A servant of the people. A messenger. Voice of the voiceless. I'm a messenger. Revolutionary making. Bringing freedom to the masses.
Parfois, les acteurs des médias sociaux, les journalistes citoyens citoyens, les blogueurs qui occupent une place importante dans la
politique. Trying to get me paid, though I walk day, I walk night and earn a little wage. I'm trained to serve so I can get paid. They know I love my job, they try to get my job. I tell them get trained. Oh, 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 oh yeah, yeah. Oh, when I'm old, when I'm old, I should surrender the chance to the youngsters. Call me the newsman, call me Ducky, call me the journalist. Cause I am exemplary, I'm just a messenger, a servant of the people. I'm a messenger, voice of the voiceless. I'm a messenger, revolutionary making, bringing freedom to the
Why are Nigerians having to queue up for hours and hours to fill up their cars?
For the men of the press to speak with one voice. It is time for the men of the press to speak with one voice. It is time for the men of the press to sing with one voice. One voice. Hey. Call me the newsman, call me Ducky, call me the journalist. Cause I am exemplary, appelle moi newsman, appelle moi Ducky, monsieur le journaliste. Oh, oh, oh. I'm just a messenger, a servant of the people. I'm a messenger, voice of the voiceless. I'm a messenger, revolutionary making, bringing freedom to the masses.
have flown into Cameroon on the Nigerian-Cameroon border, and Washington.
Thank you.
Whams, they call him Mr. Classic, and he was saying he's just the messenger. If you don't like the message, don't shoot the messenger. Look for the sender. He's just a mirror. That's what the journalist does. And thank you, Mr. Classic, for giving a further look to the public of what the media person's world is all about. It's colorful. It's challenging. You could get beaten up the way we saw in that video, but as well, you could represent the voices of the masses. You choose, though, what kind of journalist you want to be. But however it is, on Hello Cameroon today, we choose to celebrate journalism and journalists and the news persons around, like Whams. Mr. Classic, keep singing and keep entertaining us as well. Now, let's go into the papers. What do the papers have for us before we step out? Bodin Sama has been having a pre-read of the papers, and he's right here to give you a gist. Good morning, Bodin.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Oh, it's a blessing to have you each morning. Now, tell me about the papers. What have you been reading in the papers?
Many stories that do run through our newspapers this Tuesday morning. We begin with Alone Bilingual Daily, Cameroon Tribune, having the story on its front page talking about the 72nd General Assembly meeting of the United Nations, with the general debates that officially open today in New York. This paper explains to us that amongst the different world leaders taking part in this 72nd General Assembly meeting of the United Nations is President Paul Biya of Cameroon. And yesterday, prior to the official opening of the general debate, we heard that there were two high-level meetings that took place on sexual abuses, and it was an opportunity for a reform project on the adoption of a political declaration to that effect to be adopted during these two important meetings prior to the official opening of the general debate today. And this 72nd General Assembly meeting of the United Nations is having as theme focusing on people striving for peace on a sustainable planet. Get that in the latest edition of Cameroon Tribune. We stay with that lone bilingual daily, this time to talk about elections organization in Cameroon, to inform you that Cameroon assured of Francophonie support as far as the 2018, the different elections to be organized in the country in 2018. As per what is published on page 6 of today's edition of its publication on the invitation of the government of Cameroon, a high-level information mission from the International Organization of La Francophonie, led by Desiré Kadri-Ouedraogo, is in Yaoundé to identify the country's needs for electoral organization. The meeting started yesterday in Yaoundé when this high-level delegation from the International Organization of La Francophonie met with some officials of Elections Cameroon and election stakeholders in the country. We leave Cameroon Tribune to talk about the latest edition of Mutation, talking about this year, the National Road number 3 linking Yaoundé to the nation's economic capital, Douala, around Ebombe, with a metal culvert that almost collapsed yesterday, so that had to slow down circulation between Douala and Yaoundé, or Yaoundé and Douala yesterday, with officials of the Ministry of Public Works already on the site since yesterday to try as much as possible to remedy the situation for circulation to resume normally on the National Road number 3 linking Yaoundé to Douala after this metal culvert almost collapsed yesterday to slow down circulation on this highway. Read that in this edition of Mutation. The Guardian Post, published this Tuesday morning, talks about fresh hopes for transparent elections in 2018, obviously talking about this, the presence of this high-level delegation from the International Organization of La Francophonie in Cameroon, with to be here for close to a week to meet with officials of Elections Cameroon and other election stakeholders in the country to plan for how to organize free, fair and transparent elections in the country in the year 2018. Get the details in the Guardian Post, published this Tuesday morning. As the Star takes us to the southwest, precisely in Boya, to see Fako High Court, the case of internet shutdown in the southwest and northwest region is on. The paper informs us that during the first hearings, plaintiffs, councils and Camtel showed up in court, but unfortunately the state and Orange and Nextel were absent, as the case has been adjourned to September 21, 2017, as concerns internet shutdown in the two English-speaking regions, the Northwest and the Southwest regions, early this year. The Post published early Monday says lawyers split ahead of the Manfred conclave, the upcoming meeting bringing together common law lawyers in Cameroon, scheduled to take place in Manfred. But unfortunately, this paper informs us this week that the lawyers are split as far as this upcoming conclave is concerned. All the conveners referred to as blacklegs, as bike riders in Manfred have promised to disrupt this conclave if it effectively takes place in that part of the country, with hundreds of our colleagues which haunted legal minds wish that they should be part of this conclave to take place in Manfred. That you can read in the latest edition of the Post, that also has reactions of some renowned lawyers, barristers at law reacting to this upcoming conclave to bring together common law lawyers in Manfred. We end with the latest edition of the Info talking about Ghost Town in the Northwest and Southwest, saying Ghost Town gradually losing grip over the Northwest and Southwest, as most inhabitants of these two regions have decided not to adhere any longer to this persistent calls to respect ghost towns in the regions, knowing very well how much it is important to go back to school and to carry on with their daily activities. The ghost town is slowly but surely becoming something of the past in these two regions, as per what is published in this edition of the Info.
Thank you very much, Bodin Sama, for giving us a read ahead of the papers coming out this morning.
You're welcome, Pachi.
I wish you a wonderful day.
A better one for you.
We're just like in the second hour of our program, and it's very early on this Tuesday. How is your day looking like?
A very busy one.
Yes.
I have to be at work. After the news conference this morning, I have to go out on coverage, come back, edit for the news, and to be here till about 7:30, 8 p.m.
That's the life of a journalist, and I wish you a lot of energy in the course of the day.
Thank you.
Would you like something to pep you up?
An orange.
An orange. Yes. Can I throw? Do I have that chance?
There are many ladies waiting out there. Myra,
Whoa. To grab you, right?
To grab me just because of this.
Why you, Myra, Gwen, Antilio, why you're grabbing him, though? Be careful not to land into an assault, not land on an assault issue. What is assault? Here is a lawyer telling us everything that we need to know about assault.
An assault is the use of force or interference to intentionally or unintentionally cause sickness or inability to work to another person. At the level of the courts, we don't think of those nitty-gritties. What we look at is the ingredients of the offense. If the court is satisfied that all the ingredients of the offense have been committed, okay, then that's fine. What we take is violence. But I think what we take is assault. But I think domestic violence should be some very little or no misunderstandings in the house that could result to maybe a slap or so. To us, that's what we will consider domestic violence, because I think domestic violence should not result in sickness or inability to work. As per Section 281 of the Cameroon Penal Code, if it results to slight harm, okay, to distinguish if it is slight harm, we'll find out if incapacity is up to 8 days and lasts up to 30 days. Then you'll be punished with imprisonment from 6 days to 2 years, or with a fine of 5,000 francs to 50,000 francs, or with both such imprisonment and fine. According to Section 280 of the same penal code, where it is simple harm, there she has an incapacity of about 30 days and more. You'll be punished with imprisonment from 6 months to 2 years, or with a fine from 5,000 francs to about 200,000 francs, or with both such imprisonment and fine. As per Section 277 of the same penal code, that occasions grievous harm. Okay, and that causes her incapacity, where part of her body, a member of her body or whole of her body, is unable to work. That causes for a very long time, like maybe you render her lame or so. Okay, with that you'll be punished with an imprisonment term from 10 years to 20 years, and there is no option as to fine. Where the assault occasions death, then you'll be punished with imprisonment for about 6 years to 20 years. Prosecution in Cameroon is left in the hands of the legal department and not in the hands of the victim. What the victim benefits is the claim. It is the responsibility of the prosecution or the legal department to prosecute offenders. My take-home message is that if you are assaulted, please don't stay back. You might stay back and try to protect or try to defend the offender, because today it's slight harm, but mind you, assault could result to grievous harm and sometimes death. So my take-home message is, if somebody attempts to assault you, please do well to notify the judicial police officers. Barrister Mary Tawe for telling us about assault this morning. And after that coffee break,
Now let's take you to a Deutsche Welle moment. This guy went from a school dropout to an internationally renowned artist and environmentalist. We're telling you about somebody in Kenya who says everything has a second life, even junk. Stay with us. It's a Deutsche Welle report on Africa on the Move on Hello Cameroon.
Artist and environmentalist. Cyrus Kabiru is both. Growing up on the mean streets of Nairobi's Kibera slum, he discovered something beautiful in the middle of all the squalor.
Most of the gangsters, they used to come and chill in my studio and relax, and at the end you'll get, they're changing because of my work. They're changing, my work is changing them.
Cyrus's passion for eyewear began when he was a boy. Now he creates beauty out of trash. Everything deserves a second chance in life, even junk, Cyrus says. Spending more time at rubbish dumps hunting for materials than at school didn't go down well anywhere.
In Kenya, if you don't perform well in high school or in any school, people treat you like you're a loser. They're making us to hate our life, like they're not encouraging us like in our future.
An artist community in Nairobi has been Cyrus Kabiru's home for a while. Here he's made friends like fellow artist Meshach Oyero, who accept him the way he is.
For the better part, he's easygoing, but there's like an element of difficulty in him. He's a funny character, very funny indeed. He can make you laugh when you don't want to laugh. And you can laugh when it's not mostly appropriate to. Yeah, that's the kind of person he is.
Cyrus is also a serious businessman. His unique artworks become hugely popular. They can fetch up to $1,000 a piece on the art market.
That's the thing I'm trying to fight with. Like, I want you to buy my work because you like it. I don't want you to buy my work because you want to help me. So that's why I'm saying, like, we are too much poverty, selling poverty than creativity.
Electronic refuse and other recycled material takes on a new life in Cyrus's work. Now he hopes negotiators at the Paris climate talks will hear his powerful environmental message and experience it firsthand.
There's a climate change conference in Paris this year. And I was selected. They're doing an exhibition of one artist, one country, one artwork. So I've been selected this year to represent Kenya.
Cyrus is convinced his funky eye art will make a splash at the climate summit. Not bad for a boy from Kibera slum who resisted societal pressure and only did what he enjoyed most.
Thank you very much for that beautiful report and that insight into what you can do with what we call waste. They say waste has a second life, and you just saw there with us. Give it a try, and maybe you could also get invited to an international event to exhibit what you know how to do or what you're talented in. Now let's go for a history lesson. The history teacher is right here. It's 237H, and it seems today we're talking about colonization. It's not something I particularly like, though, but we are our history, you know, so that's our history. You and I were colonized, and Charles Ebune is choosing to take a look at our colonization today. Good morning, Charles.
Hello, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Throw that page again at us.
Well, after almost a century of the presence of the English in the Cameroons, after almost half a century of the presence of the French in the Cameroons, after roughly 45 years of the presence of the Germans in the Cameroons, after centuries of the Netherlands presence. Finally, it is the Germans who had Cameroon as their protectorate, and I'm talking precisely of July 12, 1884. Now, this is one of the major outcomes of the Berlin Colonial Conference of 1884-85, because in early July 1884, the then German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck dispatched Dr. Gustav Nachtigal to Cameroon, to Morocco, and to Togoland to carve a space for Germany as they became interested in establishing a territory in Africa, in the Cameroons in particular. So after negotiations were done with Douala chiefs, do you know Hickory Town? Is somewhere what they call Aqua and Bell today. So German traders met, the Douala chiefs concluded a little document which established the German Protectorate of Cameroon on July 12, 1884, and on the 14th of July 1884, the German flag was hoisted in Cameroon. Names like Emil Schmidt, names like Gustav Nachtigal are recurrent, and so the deal was sealed. And years after, the Germans therefore expanded their territory into the hinterlands. Of course, the works of people like Karl Woman, who pushed for such an event should not be neglected because they were part of the German industrial society. Now, why a protectorate and not a colony? Those are two different words in history. And this is where politicians think they can replace people like Julius Victor, Daniel Aboa. This is where people like Elvis Ngole and all others who have studied political sciences have a different understanding of the issues. Now, a protectorate in colonial history simply means it is largely, was helped largely by commercial people to safeguard a political interest dominated by economic interests. Now, a colony was an initiative of the entire government to have a land in a foreign country. That is just for basic, ordinary Form 3, Form 5 understanding of the history. And it depended whether you were placed under the Ministry of Colonies or the Commonwealth Office, for the British in particular, because there were two ministries. If you were placed under the Colonial Office, you were managed differently. And if you were placed under the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, you were managed differently. Those who were found in the Commonwealth and Foreign Office were mostly crown colonies like India. But territories like Ghana and others, Nigeria, were found under the Colonial Office. So even when you are looking for archives, those issues are not usually the same. So get the words correctly so that when you are doing your multiple choice questions, you get the answers correctly. Okay, 237H101. That is how
we're closing it for today.
We are closing it for today. Our colonial history. I want to think about the Douala people, Munasawa, because they are the ones who led us in what we know today as Cameroon after signing treaties with the German. Mba Osinende Munamboa.
Right. At that point, you say no comments. Thank you very much, Charles Ebune. And would you like, I would like to give you something sweet, but you choose. Would you like it red? Yellow? White? Okay.
Sugar cane.
Sugar cane. Yeah. Please serve yourself while we're waiting to start serving people with clean napkins so that you see us coming. All right. All right. I need to say bye-bye to Charles Ebune and see you on Thursday.
if the world doesn't come to an end.
Or if there's no rapture in between. But see you on Thursday, though. So
sure,
bye-bye.
Absolutely.
Have a beautiful day.
You're welcome.
Let me read some of your messages, because in a short while, I'm getting indication we will rather take a report before we get into the next part of the program. Keep your messages coming, though. We are asking you to tell us what is the perfect color for a bride to wear on her wedding day. Is it white? Is it pink? Is it red? I don't know. You tell us. Oh, you want to answer? Yes.
Color na color.
Oh, you were supposed to have left this set. All right, let's get that report. And then behind, Moki Edwin Kinseka is talking to a man who is using his initiatives to do a lot, despite a lot of challenges. We'll discover them just after this report.
Voici la magie, voici la magie. La magie c'est le travail, travail mon ami.
Garbage heaps are still found in most neighborhoods in Yaoundé. Some of these localities are inaccessible for the hygiene and sanitation company Izakam. To help households evacuate their waste in this neighborhood, some young men have volunteered to evacuate some of these waste to the dustbin. An example of such a person is Otu Aisi. His profession consists of entering the quarters of the city of Yaoundé and to liberate families from household waste products. His day begins very early. This inspection is done, and then I'll slot the household waste, an activity which he has been carrying out for some years now. Because the company charged with the picking of waste product in Yaoundé is not regular in some quarters. I am an inhabitant of this quarter. In a stroll in the quarter, I noticed that places were dirty and nearly all youngsters were falling sick in almost all homes. So I thought it in the first place that since most youth are complaining of unemployment, it may be an opportunity for me to create job offers to cut down unemployment. I later on contacted the authorities of the neighborhood, and so they approved my idea. I later on moved door to door to share the idea. Surprisingly, the housewives were contented with the initiative. I started this job in 2009 with over 500 homes in the BMRC neighborhood and Simeyong. But today, with the assistance of other youth, we can count over 700 houses that we serve. After gathering, he selects broken bottles from the dirt, which they are later on recycled. The daily outings of the gardens of the dirt have a cost, a price that varies according to household. It is over 7 years that I supply my dirt to Mr. Aisi. I pay 1,000 francs per month. The initiative is appreciated by many. I accepted his idea because I did not have a vehicle that can enable me carry many dirt at home to go through it in a distance of about 1 kilometer. The activity has so far been able to raise the standard of living of the young Otu Aisi. That is why he has put in place an association of volunteers who can join him in the profession.
I am proud that it's been 7 years that I've been working in this job. When I'm working, so many people are proposing me other jobs, but I like this one particularly because I love cleanliness. When we go and we carry dirt in people's house, we go and trade, I feel happy that at least we are able to satisfy a need in the society. And I love the job because at least I am able to pay my university school fees. I am in the second year in the University of Yaoundé 1. I study psychology. The money that will work, our personal initiative, I am able to pay my school fees. So I love the work so much because I believe in cleanliness. Cleanliness comes from within. I don't believe there is somebody from outside that will come in clean and come and teach us how to be clean. We start small and we believe that one day we are going to grow big. Normally the work starts from 6:30, highest is 7 o'clock, and it ends at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In fact, when you finish your work, you can go. We work every day from Monday to Saturday. At times we include Sunday if we want.
Each neighborhood has its own day of collection in a week. Like it is often said, creativity is not sold in the market. So too, there isn't the existence of a minute job.
Thank you very much for that moment of cleanliness and hygiene. We did tell you that Moki is here with somebody that we need to really discover every other day. And we're talking about the white cane. Good morning, Moki.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Under this cold, it's very cold.
I know, I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's the season, isn't it?
Of course. So, we talk about Mr. Coco Better. Mr. Coco, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Foti. Good morning, Moki.
Yeah, the Director of Young Rehabilitated Blind of Cameroon. That's who you are.
Yes.
How many languages do you speak?
I don't know. Maybe I will try to count now.
But you definitely speak French and English very well.
Yes, yeah. I speak French and English. I speak my my language.
Which one is that?
It's Bana. If you know Bana or Fefe. If you know, it's from
the West region.
Yeah, and many other national languages.
Okay,
well, that's good.
But you're here to talk about the white cane.
White cane.
Exactly.
Pochi, this man has dedicated quite some of his time to canvass, to struggle for the respect of the white cane. You know, he's even advocating that it should be like a syllabus in school where children would learn the white cane.
Exactly.
Coco, but then why are you doing all of this?
I think the white cane is a very, very important tool for the blind as me, because if I don't have a white cane, I don't know what I can do, because with my white cane, I can just move and go everywhere I want. A child who is going to school needs a white cane. A student needs a white cane. Somebody working somewhere needs a white cane, because the white cane is just for us what your eyes are for you people. So imagine if you close your eye, I'm sure you will not be able to go out of this studio alone. That's why the white cane is very important. But in our society, people do not really understand the language of white cane. People don't even know that white cane has a language. That's why we have been struggling for people to know the white cane, so that we can really be to an inclusive society.
Pochi, he's saying something very interesting. Do you understand the language of the white cane?
I understand the basics, you know, for example, how a blind person could be asking for help, for example. How where you want to cross the road. But definitely, do you want to share with us like maybe 3 lessons? We wouldn't be able to have a full class on that. But just maybe 3 of the key lessons you think people should know. When you see a person who can't see well and who has a white cane, what are some of those things that you use to attract attention?
Okay. Let us start by explaining when I'm in the need of help. If I need help, I stand like this. I stand like this. When you see a blind in this position, know that
you should offer your assistance.
Exactly. Maybe he want to cross a difficult road. Maybe he want to find a door. You know, when some taxi drop me somewhere, it can be difficult for me to find a door to get into a shop or something like that. Or I'm lost. I'm just somewhere. I don't know where I am. I want to.
That's like a distress call, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is it. So if you see a blind in this position, just come and ask what
can I do to help you?
Yes. Now, there is another sign you talk about when somebody wants to cross the road. The first thing is to show the stop sign. You see, the white cane is up, and with my left hand, I will make this stop. It is called stop sign, and it means I want to cross the road. So I will just be careful. If I'm sure that there are no noise of a vehicle, I can now
cross the road.
Maintain the left hand and put my white cane on the floor, and I can now cross the road and move from this side to another side, which is I am crossing the road. Yes. Okay, now if I am waiting for somebody, maybe we have an appointment somewhere, I arrive before you, and just need to stand there and wait for you. My hand is just on my white cane. I stand like this. It means that I'm just waiting for somebody. So that is some few.
Don't go. One of it I want to know, if you now want to take a taxi, how do you start?
Okay, if I want to take a taxi, my left hand is on my white cane, and with my right hand I can now stop a taxi. I will not know if the vehicle coming is white color or is black color, but just when I listen to the noise of vehicle. Okay, if it's a big vehicle, I can distinguish, but the small vehicle, I can also know that this is a small vehicle. I will just raise my hand, and the taxi will recognize himself and stop and ask me, where am I going?
Let me ask you this question. How much understanding do people have of the white cane? When you move around, like when you were coming here,
yes.
What is your appraisal of the way people appreciate the white cane around them?
I think, you know, the sensitization is going on since many years now, and the situation in our society is improving.
Okay.
I was even surprised last year when my daughter went to how do you call it, a school, and she wanted to pass, she learned how to drive.
Okay, a driving school.
Driving school, and in the exam they were asked how to understand the language of white cane. She was very happy. She came and told me. So it means that the sensitization is going on and people are really understanding.
Coco, by the time the White Cane Day will be celebrated next month. It should be from the 15th of October.
Exactly.
I've seen in your flyers you're sharing that Operation 100 Blind, 100 White Canes.
Yes.
Are you saying that there are some of you who don't have these white canes?
Oh, many of us is the reason why we really launched this campaign. We started last year and it was very interesting experience. Last year we launched a campaign named 100 Blind, 100 White Cane, and by the grace of God, finally we got 103 white cane, and this was distributed to the blind on the 15th of October in Ebolova. So this year the celebration will be taking place in Yaoundé and Boya. So it will be launched in Yaoundé, and in Boya on the 15th of October, the white cane will also be distributed. So many people don't have the white cane. That's why we are moving in churches, in high school, to sensitize people and encourage them to help us to buy white cane. We have already got about 10 white cane, you know. It is still, we still need many.
Just an idea though, how much does it cost to buy a white cane?
One white cane is 30,000 in our country. Yes, 30,000. So maybe many people can put themselves together and offer a white cane. Somebody can decide to buy a white cane. We can put them in touch of the company who sell white cane here in Yaoundé.
Besides begging, begging for white canes, is there nothing you can propose or suggest to the government so that when a blind child is born, when somebody becomes blind, it's easier to get one? Maybe subvention from the state, maybe exonerating the white cane from taxes or anything like that.
It is a very good idea, but you know, we have been working with government, so the government is aware of this activity, yes. And the launching of the celebration of the 37th edition of White Cane, the launching is on the 10th of October in the headquarters of our association by the Ministry of Social Affairs, and I know she is intent to offer some white cane. But we think that government alone, we cannot just expecting everything from the government. Any single Cameroonian, where he is, can also bring his own contribution.
I want to talk about you now, Coco Bete. Were you born blind or you became blind?
I became blind when I was 15 years old. But my mother told me that when I was about 4 years old, I was playing football with my senior brother. And she saw that my brother sent me the ball and I couldn't find the ball. We were not really far from me. That's how she discovered that I had a problem. She took me to the hospital and there were nothing to do. So finally I became blind when I was 15 years old.
Do you want to take us into your world and describe to us the transition from somebody who could see, that you can actually see the world the way it is, to somebody who has to now feel and smell
using
and,
other senses?
You know, yes.
Yes, I can say that at the beginning, when you became blind, when you become blind, is very difficult. It was very difficult for me to accept the new situation because I had no appointment with blindness. So even when I was feeling pain on my heart, I couldn't imagine that it was blindness coming. So when it happened, I wanted to suicide because I was just 15 years old and I had never seen somebody, a young person who is blind. So it was very difficult to accept. And this is the situation I face with many people who used to come to my office. Some will say, oh, Coco, yes, je te voyais à la télé. Maintenant, je suis comme toi. Coco, I was seeing you to the television yesterday, but today I'm also blind like you. It's very difficult to accept the new situation.
And so what comfort do you give those people who just get blind? What do you tell them?
I just speak with them from my example and the example of some other people who are around me. I tell them this is really the situation I face. When I became blind, it was very difficult for me to accept. But today, I cannot regret. I'm happy. I cannot cry again. At the beginning, I was crying. My parents were crying, but I think my parents are proud of me today. So when they come to me, I tell them that there's no need to cry. Even with this situation, make sure if you decide to work, everything will change and you will be somebody new.
Let me ask you this, when you go to classrooms, you see that teachers are not even, these blind people have to, like you, have to go to school, have to have education is a right. Yeah. But you go to school now, the teachers don't even understand the language of the blind, the language people use. So how do you go about over all of these challenges and be able to speak many languages to read and to write?
It is not easy. Because when you go to school, some teachers will even mock at you, and some teacher will say that this is not a school for blind people. What are you doing here? Sometimes it's very difficult to hear such when people a language like this one. But we know that we are in a society where it is not every people who really understand. You will see some other people who will be very, very happy. I can tell you an example. We met a lady in high school, bilingual high school of Ekunu, Madame Eyango. When she met the blind, she just decided to commit herself to help them. Now she's coming to work with them. She called for her colleague to come and work free of charge for these people. But we also have other bad example. People will just mock and say we have nothing to do with these people. We just have to accept the situation and move with those who are ready to move with us. Try to sensitize others who had not yet really understood the situation.
Life indeed is about challenges, Coco Bertin. You say it better because you are our guest this morning on this issue, but it's all about challenges and you want to learn to surmount yours. You know, not everybody has a chance to meet Coco Bertin and to listen to you educate us on how to live with, accompany and support persons who have difficulties. If you were to talk to parents who have children with sight problems, what do you usually tell them? Because I know you should have parents who come to you and say, my child is losing sight, and I'm also losing sense over it.
Exactly.
What do you say?
Exactly. You know, I just tell them that you don't really need to get discouraged. There are some parents at the back to school like this, they will take all the children to the school, but not the child, yes, who is blind or who has other type of disability. I say, no, dear parent, you are wrong. Because the parents say, oh, there is nothing we can expect from somebody who is disabled. No, you are not right. People with disability really need to be educated just as any other one. And I can even say that they are in the need more than others, because it is a challenge to face, to take the child with disability in the school, to help him to go to school. This is the only thing that can really make him to be a man or to be somebody in our society. So what I used to tell the parent is that you don't really need to get discouraged. You don't think that everything is lost because your child is a child with a disability. No, you need to be careful to take him to school. You need to show him love. You need to take him to the society, not to just to keep him in your house, because you know there are many people in our country, even some authorities, who have children with disability in their house. They will just hide the children when maybe they have some visitors. No, you be proud of what you have. Try to advise, try to take the child to the school, to do everything you can do for him. You know, in our society today, you have many persons with disability that our society are proud of.
Yes, that's where I was ending. When you are teaching a child, you say you want to be like this person tomorrow. A blind child now who wants to know that may have success ahead. Who are the icons? Those people you point out. I know Sam Lingam is one of them.
Sam Lingam, who is well on his way to achieving scholarship in the UK. So there's no limit at all. Don't allow your side challenges to limit you.
So who are some of these people you have as your icons?
No, there are many icons in our country. You know Paul Tezano, who is a blind, who is the president of Francophone Union for the blind. He has been responsible of many association, organization in the country, half of the country. I think there are Martin Luther, who is well known in our country. Martin Luther and I were the founder of the Young Rehabilitated Blind Association.
Coco Bertin, I'm going to jump in there. You can come back any other time. You're invited to stay with us anytime you want to stay with us. But right now we have a moment of advert. Okay. And behind the advert, we're having news at 8 o'clock with Marie Laurensky. At this point, though, we'll say bye-bye to the gentlemen. Bye-bye, Coco Bertin. And
thank you,
see you on Thursday.
On Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thursday.
For this back to school, the brand Amongst Youths offers you a high quality and varied range of books to guide your children throughout the school course. Strong covers and leaves, readable lines. You have ledgers, red, blue, plain, and square lines. Francophone books, travel pratique, A4, double lines, simple lines in all pagination. Amongst Youth books are a memory guide thanks to the small lessons at the back of all the covers offered by the National Agency for Information and Communication Technologies. In sale in all the stationeries of Cameroon and in the smack zone. Amongst Youth books, twice as solid. Amongst Youth books, it's too cool.
Bienvenue aux 8h sur la CATV. 72e Assemblée générale des Nations Unies. Le débat général s'ouvre aujourd'hui à New York. Et déjà hier lundi, le ministre des Relations extérieures, le jeune Bela Mbela, et le ministre directeur du cabinet civil à la présidence de la République, Martin Belinga Eboto, ont, au nom du chef de l'État, participé à 2 rencontres de haut niveau. L'un sur la réforme des Nations Unies et l'autre sur les abus sexuels lors des opérations de maintien de paix. Les précisions, c'est avec notre envoyé spécial à New York, Yves-Marc Modzo.
Le siège des Nations Unies à New York, ce lundi 18 septembre 2017, telle une fourmilière. Au fur et à mesure qu'on se rapproche de l'ouverture du débat général annuel, prévu dans moins de 24 heures, l'enceinte gagne en animation. Des files interminables de véhicules, mais aussi et surtout de délégués convergent vers les lieux. Bien en place, dans la foule de drapeaux qui flottent fièrement au vent, le vert jaune national, flanqué de son étoile dorée, qui renseigne à suffisance sur la présence et la participation camerounaise à cette 72e Assemblée générale. Au programme de cette journée du lundi, 2 rencontres de haut niveau. La première, organisée à l'initiative du président américain Donald Trump et portant sur la réforme du système des Nations Unies, et la seconde, traitant des abus sexuels dans le cadre des opérations de maintien de la paix. Au nom du président de la République, Paul Biya, La Voix du Cameroun à ces rencontres est portée par le ministre en charge des Relations extérieures, le jeune Belambela, avec à ses côtés le ministre, directeur du cabinet civil de la présidence de la République, Martin Bellinga-Eboutou, et l'ambassadeur, représentant personnel du Cameroun aux Nations Unies, son Excellence Tomo Monté. Il est à noter qu'au sujet de cette réforme du système des Nations Unies tant attendue, la position du Cameroun est restée constante depuis les indépendances. Notre pays appelle de tous ses voeux cette réforme, et notamment celle du Conseil de sécurité, afin que celui-ci reflète de façon plus juste les grands équilibres géopolitiques du monde d'aujourd'hui. Quant à la prévention des abus sexuels, le Cameroun, à travers son chef d'État, chef des armées, a toujours mis un point d'honneur au comportement exemplaire de ses contingents sur les différents terrains d'opération où ils ont été déployés. Bien que non contraignante, la déclaration politique qui est attendue de cette importante rencontre sur la réforme du système des Nations Unies va à coup sûr consacrer une sérieuse avancée dans le processus de modernisation de cette institution fêtière des filles et fils de la planète. Les populations en attendent beaucoup, et notamment sur le continent africain, où persiste le sentiment d'une sous-représentation au sein des Nations Unies. D'ores et déjà, les hommes de médias du monde entier ont ceinturé les différents accès de la Tour des Nations Unies pour rendre compte des moindres frémissements sur le sujet et sur tous les autres inscrits à l'ordre du jour de cette 72e session, dont l'ouverture du débat général annuel prévu ce mardi va constituer un autre grand moment, un moment qui à coup sûr sera marqué par l'entrée en scène du chef de l'État camerounais. Envoyé spécial de la CRTV à New York, Yves-Marc Medjo.
L'Organisation internationale de la francophonie effectue en ce moment une mission d'évaluation du système électoral camerounais. La délégation conduite par l'ancien Premier ministre du Burkina Faso, Désiré Kadri Ouedraogo, a été reçue hier par Marcel Niak-Difendi, président du Sénat. Les détails, c'est dans ce reportage de Richard Talatodem.
Jusqu'ici, l'Organisation internationale de la francophonie OIF est arrivée souvent seulement pendant le déroulement des élections au Cameroun. Elle a donc souvent pris les choses en chemin ou à la fin. Madame le secrétaire général de la francophonie, Michael Jean, veut mettre son organisation dans tout le cheminement électoral au Cameroun. Elle a alors créé la mission de la francophonie chargée du processus électoral au Cameroun, conduite par M. Désiré Kadri Ouedraogo. La mission est venue au Cameroun se présenter et écouter.
Il était donc normal que nous venions présenter cette délégation au président du Sénat, mais aussi saisir cette occasion pour solliciter ses vues, son analyse de la situation et aussi la manière dont nous pourrions donc travailler pour apporter un concours de la francophonie au Cameroun.
Composée de 6 personnalités, la mission n'en est qu'au début de son travail chez le président du Sénat, Marcel Niak-Difendi, très relax avec ses hôtes.
C'est une nouvelle philosophie de l'OIF qui est qu'on ne vient pas simplement le jour des élections pour observer, on accompagne le pays depuis la préparation jusqu'après les résultats. Donc c'est une mission à long terme qui ne fait que commencer et donc nous sommes là dans une mission d'écoute. Nous allons écouter tous les acteurs, les institutionnels, les partis politiques, la société civile, les partenaires du Cameroun.
Le président du Sénat, Marcel Niak-Difendi, s'est fait entourer pendant cette audience des sénateurs Obama Sam, David Siegfried et Tamé Massoma, Marie-Claire Mwampeyambio, du secrétaire général adjoint du Sénat, Bernard Wongolo, et du directeur du cabinet, Justin Djomachua.
Le forum des investisseurs est organisé ce jour à l'hôtel Montfébé. C'est à la faveur du séminaire d'une mission organisée en Chine. Ceci pour nouer des partenariats avec les entreprises camerounaises et ceci en vue des journées économiques, commerciales et industrielles du Cameroun annoncées en Chine en début décembre prochain. Notre reporter revient sur la mission préparatoire qui a séjourné en Chine il y a quelques jours. Suivons son reportage. En prélude à la grand-messe de décembre prochain, les promoteurs des journées économiques, industrielles et commerciales du Cameroun en Chine ont entamé leur mission par l'ambassade du Cameroun. Ils ont été accueillis par le maître des lieux à qui présenté leur programme de travail et de séjour.
Le Cameroun est riche, le Cameroun a des potentialités, le Cameroun a des ressources, mais il nous manque à la fois la technique, les financements, la technologie et le savoir-faire.
Les atouts et les opportunités d'investissement qu'offre le Cameroun au secteur privé chinois ont été présentés lors des rencontres avec les opérateurs économiques chinois. Un appel leur a été lancé de venir investir au Cameroun afin d'accompagner l'industrialisation camerounaise. Un concept véritablement salué par les compatriotes.
C'est un événement qui serait extrêmement profitable aussi bien au Cameroun en tant que pays, État, qu'aux entreprises qui y participeront.
C'est un événement qui a vu, n'est-ce pas, son envergure est très important pour les chefs d'entreprise et les opérateurs économiques camerounais qui viendront en Chine, n'est-ce pas, rencontrer les opérateurs économiques chinois. Et certainement de cette rencontre, n'est-ce pas, naîtra beaucoup d'avantages économiques des deux parties.
En attendant l'apothéose de ces journées prévues en Chine du 1er au 5 décembre 2017, un forum de l'investissement et du commerce entre entrepreneurs chinois et camerounais est organisé le 17 septembre prochain à Yaoundé au Montfébé Hotel. De la chaussée s'est effondrée après le pont des Bombais entre Pouma et Déa, c'est sur l'axe lourd Douala-Yaoundé. C'était hier matin et c'était une nuit blanche et très mouvementée pour les équipes techniques du ministère des Travaux publics. Le cas des Bombais était une autre urgence à résoudre avant le lever du jour. La chaussée qui s'est affaissée sur la rivière Itanda vient d'être remise à niveau et renforcée dans son plateau technique. Cependant, la circulation reste momentanément interrompue. Les détails, c'est dans ce reportage que signe Daoud Mouliom de CRTV Douala.
C'est une longue nuit de travail qui tire vers sa fin ici sur la rivière Itanda. Nous sommes à Ebombe, dans la Sanaga maritime. Les équipes techniques du ministère des Travaux publics procèdent actuellement à l'installation des plaques qui vont servir au renforcement et à la remise à niveau de la chaussée. Cette chaussée qui avait cédé hier suite à l'affaiblissement d'une buse à cet endroit. C'est depuis hier vers 23h que les équipes du ministère des Travaux publics sont à pied d'œuvre. Et grâce à l'expertise de la société MAC, la circulation pourra reprendre son cours normal dans les prochaines heures. Sur cette chaussée large de 10 mètres, des travaux qui ont été suivis de bout en bout par le ministre Emmanuel Nganoudou-Messi, accompagné du préfet de la Sanaga maritime, Fritz Semedi-Kosso, et du délégué régional du ministère des Travaux publics pour le littoral. Des bus de ce genre, il y en a 351 au total sur la nationale numéro 3, section Douala-Yaoundé. La circulation rétablie à cet endroit n'est que provisoire, le temps que la voie de contournement longue de 2 km environ soit mise à jour. Après quoi, le transit sera totalement basculé de ce côté afin que la buse affaissée soit remplacée. Pour l'heure, les équipes techniques du ministère des Travaux publics restent vigilantes et rassurent sur le remplacement progressif de 150 buses affaiblis par leur niveau de vétusté. Des travaux évalués à plus de 200 milliards de francs CFA à mobiliser cependant. Pour le moment, la communication routière reste effective entre Douala et Yaoundé. Depuis Ebombe, dans la Sanaga maritime, Daoud Mouliom pour la CRTV.
Et le ministre des Travaux publics Emmanuel Nganoudou-Messi informe les usagers de la nationale numéro 3 section Douala-Yaoundé que la circulation est perturbée depuis hier à 22h en raison des travaux de réparation de confortement de blocs techniques situés dans le département de la Sanaga maritime au lieu-dit Ebomé. Ces interventions de génie civil sont rendues indispensables sur cette buse qui s'affaisse en attendant son remplacement. Et si l'on s'en tient aux dernières informations de la cellule de communication du ministère des Travaux publics, les travaux s'accélèrent sur ce tronçon. 3 plaques de glissière en béton armé ont déjà été posées et depuis 1 heure, les travaux de remblai et de compactage ont démarré et l'ouverture de la circulation pourrait se faire d'ici 30 minutes. Madame, Monsieur, c'est la fin du 8h. Merci de l'avoir suivi. Prochain journal, ce sera à 12h. Vous retrouverez le couple Bobena Fonkamuta et Rachel Njok Malongo. D'ici là, restez sur la CATV en compagnie de Pochitambasso pour la suite de Hello, le Cameroun.
Marie-Laurence, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Merci.
I'll be looking forward to another moment on Thursday with you. Would you like something to start the day?
Je sais.
Serve yourself. Let me put this basket near you.
Wow.
And while she's serving herself, this is freestyle moment on Hello Cameroon. We're taking you to shake. And just, you know, but this time we're stepping down in age. We're just going to enjoy kids who are shaking it. But these ones are shaking it for charity, though. They use the shaking to raise money so they can go to school and plan for a better future for themselves. Please enjoy freestyle on Hello Cameroon.
I like your swag. Benda, benda, bend down low. 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 Oh, tempoli changerinya. Oh, tempoli cherry higher, higher. Benda, benda, bend down low. 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 Say where nobody can watch you step. Baby, baby, only kill us above. No ma kakas you. Mama, papa, don't bless you. Oh, your sister like you. Jagana, you know about you. Oh, your baby, adore you. Jagana, you know about you. Wariko, munange wariko. Wariko, beko wogera ko warikeno. Juni gozi juni nga boss ma boss goga boss nga bo bali koda bondi kodinga kalonjo kesanyo because you star girl Wariko munange wariko beko wogera ko warikeno benda 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 low benda 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 low benda 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 low benda 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 low oh tempoli changerinya oh tempoli cherry higher higher make me happy go make you happy don't worry I got the money I'm Pablo got you the money shake it that body benda 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 low benda 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 low benda 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 low benda 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 low Records.
If you're enjoying Hello Cameroon, that's how we want it to be. Stay with us. It's the right channel you're watching, and it's the right program. We want to wake you up in the right style. After shaking you up like that, let's settle you down. First, with some tips about healthy eating, and then we'll move into the kitchen. Myra is here, and we're talking about garlic. Forget the smell, just listen to Myra, and because as she always says, if it's healthy, it's definitely not going to be sweet in the mouth. So stay with us. Myra, why are we talking about garlic today?
We're talking about garlic because it is very versatile.
It works for beauty, works for health, and it's just that one great spice that cuts across everything and that makes the magic.
Okay.
That's why we're talking about garlic.
So we say good morning. We should have said that. Good morning, Myra.
Good morning.
And tell me about garlic. What are some of the different values that you found about garlic?
Okay, definitely I'm going to start with your hair. Garlic contains an allicin, which is a compound sulfur that is also found in onions as well, but it comes in a higher quantity when it has to do with garlic, and it is great when it comes to treating cases of hair loss. So if you are somebody, what we naturally call here mbamba, or sometimes we lose our hair because probably we're not using the right products. We don't use products for black hair on black hair, and you have pen hair.
We don't have many products of black hair that get to reach us, so we pick what we can get.
And the few that we have, when they come, sometimes
unfortunately
it's not in good condition anymore. The storage system is not the same. And things like that, so we get to lose our hair, and then our climate too is contributing a lot to hair breaking.
And all that doing of hair, you know, like processing your hair. Let me put it that way. It's actually processing. Because you dry the hair, you burn the hair, you wrap the hair.
It's killing the hair as well. And so this is what you can do. You could slice a clove of garlic, and then you rub on the affected area. Do that every other day, and then until you start noticing changes. Another option for you would be to infuse your hair oil with garlic.
Wouldn't
you
that
massage
be a
into
better
your hair.
Option? Or you want to rub it at night so you don't scare
people? Of course,
people.
it's at night. You won't want to do that and work in the day.
You don't want people to be like, huh? All right.
Yes. And then when it comes to acne, all right, I understand. Garlic might not be the main ingredient that cuts across every acne medication that you find in your drugstore, but there is a great home remedy that you can use for garlic. What do? It's just to get another garlic clove, you slice it, and then you rub on the affected area only. And we agree that that's when you're not going out at night as well.
When you're ready to quarantine yourself, you do that, you know.
And it's a great topical treatment. You should try it if you have problems in that domain. And then when it comes to common cold, the fact that you're cooking with garlic almost every day, that's already beefing up your immune system and helping it to fight free radicals that could come in there and cause you diseases. But if the cold still manages to sneak in, this is what you can do. Make a garlic tea. How can you do that? Okay, you can crush some garlic, put in hot water for about 4 minutes, and then you strain it and drink. I understand the taste is like, So what you can add honey. You can add honey to it so that it can help you, for you to be able to gulp it down without necessarily twerking your face and getting wild. And so for weight control, garlic too is great. Now,
that too?
Yes. I had to refer to the works of Cynthia Sass. She's an American nutritionist, very well known, and you could Google her and get her plenty and plenty of recipes, and she will talk to you better about garlic and what it has to do with weight loss. But she found out together with her team of researchers that it has a great ability of melting fat stores, which sometimes is difficult to go away no matter the exercise and the dieting that you do. And when it comes to athlete food, what we call water rain, we suffer from that a lot.
If you are suffering from that, you need to watch carefully now, because Myra is opening your chapter.
And the truth is, garlic is actually antifungal in properties.
Yes, I
so
buy that, yeah.
What you can do, you crush the garlic or you grind the garlic and you add in warm water and you soak your feet in there every other day to release your pain and the swelling that comes with athlete food. And then it will also hasten up your treatment. Of course, you're definitely going to get tablets from your doctor or whoever you're consulting with, but this is going to help you heal better. But there is another thing. Garlic could make a good mosquito repellent. Scientists...
You mean the thing that pushes us also push is also... That thing, you know, if I eat garlic and I'm like, good morning, you'll be like...
No way.
That's how the mosquitoes react to. They are like,
And scientists have not been able to lay their fingers on it. What is it that garlic has that is sending mosquitoes away? But if you are going to somewhere that you know is mosquito infested, of course, the best thing to do is to sleep under a mosquito net. But if you find yourself in a situation, if you're traveling far, sometimes you have to go and work out of town, you don't know the area, get a garlicky concoction. You can have
have that in pharmacies, or just go to a drugstore and try to get one, or from a dermatologist.
How do you use that? You rub, or
you
I don't know. Okay,
you rub on your body at nighttime when you're about to sleep, and you send all these guys away. And there's another thing that you can do, another home remedy that you can do to send these pesky buggers away. What can you do? You use petroleum jelly, that's Vaseline, bee wax, and then garlic oil. When you mix the three together, that's a great mosquito repellent. Put it at the side of your bed, and those guys will not even dare to come near you. Now, cold sore. If you're suffering from cold sore, which is usually in the mouth, you can also help the pain or release the swelling with garlic. All right. What will you do? You slice a garlic clove as well and hold it under for a few minutes to reduce all of those. This is simply because it's antibacterial, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory. It's a fantastic antibiotic. So what I did this morning is to try to adapt garlic to what we can, home remedies to make it easier for you and I to understand. There
is something I'm going to surprise you about, Myra. This garlic, which costs sometimes 100 francs, if you take a coin, a 100 francs coin, you get a good number of the garlics. This garlic is used to treat women issues. I'll leave that there and allow you to go research.
But I was saying that is antibacterial.
So that should help you.
And now we are learning it's an antivirus as well.
So, but garlic is definitely, it goes to different places. Besides being the ingredient that it tastes good in food.
Different places. Usually they will use the mortar and the pistol of me. I guess I should be stretching my hand out to pass you down.
Come on, Myra. All right, though. Do you feel like eating something that will put garlic inside? Because I'm about to take you into the kitchen.
Yes.
Would you like some pepper soup?
Cow leg pepper soup.
Yummy,
yummy, yummy.
You see this girl?
Towel pepper soup.
That will be for next year. That'll be for next year because I'm going to carry my basket and give Myra. Why she's behaving like a big girl around with the basket. You could just take it home. Let's go into the kitchen. This is Queen's kitchen, and she's giving us noodles. Just watch and enjoy.
Hello, good morning. You once more welcome to Queen's Kitchen. This morning we're going to do a very simple breakfast. We're going to cook some noodles. First, we have our noodle. We have some minced meat. We have some carrot, green beans, and our tomatoes and some spices. We start first by boiling our noodles. We put the noodles into already boiled salted water. While our noodle is boiling, we prepare the sauce for it. First, we put in our minced meat. Once the meat is already minced, it doesn't take long to cook. We slice and add in our tomatoes. Now we add in our tomatoes and onion and let it cook for a while. Now we pour in a bit of oil, just about 1 cooked spoon, and a pinch of salt. The salt shouldn't be much because the noodles is already salted. Okay, we're adding our green beans and also let it cook for a while. We add a bit of cube for seasoning. A bit of white pepper, ginger and garlic. Now our noodles are ready. We strain them. Pour in a bit of cold water don't get stick together. Okay. I will add into our sauce. It hasn't taken us up to 15 minutes to prepare, but it's well balanced and it's good to put in the child's lunch box. As you can see, our lunch box is set. This will make a child happy in school. Good morning, bon appetit.
A quick and snappy lunch to put in the lunch box so that your child can be happy when it's break time in school. We hope the idea went through. Now, let me read some of your messages before we move on to meet our guest. We are having two exciting ladies to talk culture in a short while. But first, let's read these messages. Robert from Dub, he says the best color is the traditional white, as with most Protestant and Catholic churches. This other message, which is coming from Nelson Ewokem in Bonaberi in Douala, he says, good morning to you in the studio and also to the viewers. I prefer white because it is a symbol of purity, and in white you look flamboyant. Ah, really? I'm in black. Don't I look flamboyant? Don't worry, I'm teasing you. Of course, white is cool. It's a cool color. But tell me more, tell me what you prefer as a typical bridal color. Now let's talk culture more again. We have a lady who is based in the United Kingdom, and she was part of the movie Breach of Trust. We'll be discovering what role she played in the putting in place of this movie, what her life is all about, and what is the way forward after this movie. I'm talking about Roslyn Fonkwa Munjongi, who is coming from the UK and is our guest right now. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you.
We're happy to have you on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you for having me too.
All right. Tell me about, I know that Breach of Trust is a story of, it's a family saga put in drama. It's about some of those secrets on dark history moments that families rather keep secret, and that Breach of Trust has put out there so that we can be able to talk about it and help some people in trouble. Actually, I hear it comes from a real story. Do you want to tell me more about Breach of Trust?
Right. Breach of Trust obviously is from a real story. So I was approached by a young lady last year who unfortunately had been sexually abused by her uncle twice. So I was so touched by the story, and I decided that I can't just keep quiet. I should be able to do something, because there should be loads of young women and young men experiencing the same thing. So that's what inspired me to do the movie, Breach of Trust. So we've got different characters, but obviously it's from that main story.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me, how do you come to put together a movie like that, which is shot across 2 continents and with a cast like we know, and it's a movie that's winning awards and that we hope will win more. Tell me about the putting in place of Breach of Trust.
Right. It was quite a challenge, because obviously I'm not a movie producer.
Naturally.
Naturally, I'm a businesswoman. So, I mean, obviously, I had to learn a lot of things. I made a lot of mistakes, which costed me quite a lot of money. But I was quite lucky to have a lot of positive people who supported the vision, people who wanted to push the story forward. So I was lucky to have all these people who gave me the support, who introduced people to me, recommended people, and I was able to put this together. Doing it from both locations was not easy, but obviously I was quite lucky that a lot of my UK casts were coming on holidays in December, so I had to squeeze some time out of their holidays to get them to come on set, and they were quite willing to do that. So obviously Kanyan Kwai, who is the director of the film, provided me a lot of support, because obviously I didn't know anything in the film industry on the ground, so he provided the support and the crew here. So it was challenging.
It's a success? You would say it's a success?
Yes, it's a success. We're quite proud of what we've produced.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the way forward for Breach of Trust first, and for you? Maybe you might be considering staying in the movie industry.
Right. The way forward, actually, what we've done so far, we've projected it in the UK. We had a premiere on the 9th of June, which was so well attended. We had over 400
We had echoes
guests.
all over the place. So that was a success.
Yes, it was a success, and that really inspired me to take it to the next level. And people actually wanted to be part of the journey, because I didn't want it to just be a film. I want it to be a starting point for a discussion about...
You want it to be a campaign.
Yes, I want it to be a campaign. I want to raise awareness on sexual abuse, incest. People, I mean, obviously we all know about it, but we pretend that it doesn't happen. And I think we should get to the point where we all sit together and say, okay, this is what's happening. We've got to address it. We've got to support the victims. We've even got to support the abusers, because they could also be victims who are exactly. So to kind of really break the cycle and also get justice in place as well.
Let me ask you now about yourself. Do you plan to remain in the movie production arena, or this was just it?
I have enjoyed the whole experience, and as much as I would love to carry on just doing my business, I have so enjoyed it that I really would like to do more. And yeah, I would like to do more.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you promise people who have only heard of breach of trust in Cameroon? Would it be reaching most Cameroonians soon? What is ahead for fans of movies in Cameroon?
I mean, I'm actually here because I'm working towards a premiere, which is going to be in Douala, Canal Olympia, Besenge. It would be on the 21st of October. Okay. So we've got viewers, we've got a date set for Douala, so hopefully we should have loads of people attending. I'm planning to do one in Yaoundé. I'm working on that. I haven't got concrete information yet. So once I've got the information, it will be available. But we've got Douala, 21st October, Douala Besenge from 7.
21st October, that's the date you should save, and then others will come. If you are a fan of Breach of Trust, we were having some pictures of Breach of Trust as we were discussing, and I'm sure you were able to appreciate the quality of that movie. Maybe any final message, though, to your crew? Do you want to say, maybe express? You've been very glowy about the persons you work with. Maybe any thank you want to extend to particular persons?
Yeah. Obviously, I would like to thank Kanyankoi because he kind of put everything together. So I would really like to thank him. I would like to thank Susan Kemplin. I would like to thank Jeffrey Pule, Walter Anga. I can't call everyone's name.
I just said you were trapped there and you felt the need. So now wait for her because she didn't call your name. Just grab her. Okay. Rosaline Fonkwa Munjongi, thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you.
I wish you a beautiful stay here and a very successful trip.
Okay.
Because you have a lot to do on your agenda. So maybe a successful trip for you and a bright future in the movie industry. Sometimes it's hard. Life is hard, though, but
I know. Got to do it.
It is. Let me introduce to you a girl who is preparing her PhD.
Okay.
She works with the Goethe Institute.
Okay.
But she's also into slam. She's called Lidol. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Portia.
Happy to have you here.
I'm happy too to be here.
I hope that we're going to have a chance to see some of what you just recently put out there. But Doli Mwafo.
Yeah.
Your artist name is Lidol. Please tell me about the kind of music you do. It's not Njang, it's not Bikutsi, it's not Makosa.
Yeah, I'm doing spoken word. Like, as we said in our country, poetry. In the French is slam. It's like putting words together to express one's feeling. It's like sharing emotions with people, and for me, spoken word is like just saying the truth and trying to narrate stories that are really related to what people live every day. So if I can just tell the story about how I get into all this, it's like, first of all, I used to be like a singer. I wanted to be a singer like Sanziviani because I'm in love with her music. And I made a competition called Challenge Vacances. I took part as karaoke singer.
Yeah.
And by the way, I went to the quarterfinals in the region, the central region. And I said, okay, I wasn't prepared. Maybe next year I will do something better. So during the year, I become part of our choir in the church. I become part of our orchestra in the school and all music groups that I met. And at the end of the year, I said, okay, now I'm ready for the competition. So I went, and I wasn't even taken for the casting. I was like, what's wrong? What happened? I was shocked. And one of the members of the jury realized that there's something wrong with this girl. And I asked, what's the matter? I can't understand what's going on. And he said, oh, no, don't mind, jury members, they have their feelings, they have this and that. But you can come in another discipline. You can do rap, you can do spoken word, you can do, I said, okay, what's spoken word? You know, I used to write poems when I was a child, but I never presented my work to anybody. So a friend of mine, Musti Charismatic, said, hey, why don't you try spoken word?
That's a great friend you have.
Yes, a really good friend of mine. And he said, okay, just try to do something. Write a poem and try to do something. So I went back home that day. I came back late. My mother started arguing with me that, why are you so late and this? I said, okay, I'll try something on my mother and I'll go and present it the next week. So I tried and I went there for the competition and I performed. They took me for the casting. I won the quarter, semi, and the final. And that year, I won the national final of the competition in Douala.
You got it finally.
Yes. So it was like, whoa! I didn't. And people keep asking me, since when do you do? I say, 2 weeks. And people were just like, okay. So for me, it was just like a call that maybe this is what I have to do.
That was the starting point.
Yes. And after that, I have the chance to take part to other competitions. Not only that one, I took part to the Spoken Word project, which was organized by the Ghana Institute of South Africa, who helped me to take part to a Spoken Word show in Angola 2 years after. So for me, it was just like, okay, maybe I'm.
But tell me about this spoken word way of expressing yourself. How do people relate with it when people watch? Because you have videos on YouTube.
Yes.
We'll be looking for a chance to have one or two of such videos as we're talking with you. How do people relate with your style?
The problem is that what I realized is that it's not that people don't like poetry or spoken word, it's that people don't know what poetry is. So I'm just trying to put up a new way of telling words that will not be boring. So all what I receive as messages and advices is like people like what I do, and that's the most important thing for me. People feel their self in what I say. And I think this is the most interesting thing.
I'm getting indication that we can now enjoy some of what Doli Mwafo does, and her artist name is Lido. This is a video that's on YouTube. You could go enjoy it on YouTube, but here is an excerpt for you.
Tu penses le matin, c'est tout ce que la nuit n'a pas pu te faire oublier. Comprends que ça ne sert à rien de vouloir jouer au petit malin. T'es allé à la guerre comme tout le monde, mais cette fois c'est toi que la balle a touché. En quelques secondes, tu es passé de l'autre côté de la barrière. Où sont passées les caresses, les mots doux, où est passé l'être cher. Dos au mur, t'as quand même pu te faire poignarder par derrière. Le bonheur te semble lointain, mais en fait tu n'étais même pas hier. Quand garder ton calme devient ta seule unique chance de survie, pense à tous ceux qui sont passés par là, à raison ou à tort. Et si tu penses que quand on a envie de mourir, c'est difficile de s'accrocher à la vie, c'est peut-être parce que la douleur a ses priorités que la raison ignore alors. Bienvenue chez les dingues ou juste ceux qui en amour n'ont pas de chance. Bienvenue chez ceux qui, au rythme de leur pleurs, dansent. On se nourrit des histoires des autres en se convainquant qu'elles sont pires que la nôtre. Bienvenue dans un monde où on est toujours sûr de pouvoir compter sur le conseil d'un autre. 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 La maison elle est grande, tu sais, en fait il y a beaucoup de compartiments. Ceux qui sont déçus, ceux qui ont trompé, ceux qui sont victimes de leurs sentiments. Le salin communautaire ici, on se lamente ton cœur, parce qu'effectivement on s'est rendu compte que de l'autre on n'avait pas conquis tout le cœur. Les tables sont faites en regret, les canapés sont de tristesse. Si tu entends le train du désespoir s'éloigner, dis-toi que tu viens de le manquer de justesse. Accueil chaleureux pour les femmes, t'auras pas besoin d'être particulièrement à droite. Mais au cas où t'as besoin de prendre un bain de larmes, la douche c'est juste la deuxième porte à droite. Alors, bienvenue chez les dingues ou juste ceux qui en amour n'ont pas de chance. Bienvenue chez ceux qui, au rythme de leurs pleurs, dansent. On se nourrit des histoires des autres en se convainquant qu'elles sont pires que la nôtre. Bienvenue dans un monde où on est toujours sûr de pouvoir compter sur le conseil d'un autre. 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 On ne se juge pas entre nous, on maudit juste ceux qui nous ont laissé tomber.
When you hear such music, it just transports you. I see Rosaline nodding. I mean, do you relate with that?
So amazing. So amazing and so different.
It is different.
Yeah, so different, yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
Tell me, where are you going to from here? What I mean, after this, what else?
Okay, Don't Note is my first single and it's part of an EP, an extended play of 4 titles that will be available in November. So I'm working on it now.
Okay.
And
we are waiting for it.
Okay. And this week, on Friday, I will be performing at Bukhara Lounge for a showcase of Tati Eyan. And then the next day on Saturday, we'll be at Palais de Congrès for the Tuki Fashion Show for a performance also. So I'm working on... And I have a competition organized by the Goethe Institute, Science Slam. It's a competition during which scientists do an artistic presentation of their work. So I will hold a workshop during 2 weeks on preparing those candidates, helping them adding slam to science. So
I'm going to ask you one last question before we go. She has a master's degree and she's preparing a PhD. So you're going to be called Dr. Mwafo Aka Lidol. Tell me, how do you put all of that together?
It's really
you are working, you're in school, and also you are an artist.
It's really difficult, but I think when you organize yourself, it's easy for you to put up things one after one after one.
Okay. So we wish you a lot of success.
Thank you.
That's what we do on Hello Cameroon. We show you talents, and Lidol is just one of them. Always show you people who reinvent themselves, like Roslyn. She didn't know she could put together a movie. She did it, and it's a total success. Ladies, I'm going to say bye-bye to you. I wish you all a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
It's the start of the day. Choose how you want to make it. Don't let anybody pull you into something like that is make it yay. And talking about yay, Joyce Abigail is in Caribbean talking about fish. She says this is the season. This is the moment to go look for fish because the prices have just because there is a lot of fish. She's at the Launchy Beach she was there since 6 a.m. though. Let's try to find out what Joyce Abigail is talking about.
Hello, good morning to you from Kribi, the town of the sea, the town of plenty. We live in the waves. But then at this point in time, I am in a locality, they call it Lungi, and I am here because this is that environment where you have the selling of fish. Behind me, you can see the sea. The boats right now, they are kind of scanty because the fishermen have gone right into the sea. They will be back probably by 9:30, 10 a.m. to sell their catch. And trust me, somewhere around, there is a huge crowd. There are businessmen and women. They are waiting for these local fishermen to come back from the sea, and they do their purchase directly. They deal directly with these local fishermen. But then this is the period of fish, the fishing season in Kribi. And generally, yes, it's a sea town, but they say fish here is quite expensive. But I'm just wondering, since this is a fishing period, are there some moderation in prices? I cannot answer that question, but we have a business person right here with me who would be answering all those questions that you are asking in your heart right now. Hello?
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name, please?
My name is George.
George.
Yes.
Oops. George, I just love the sea. It gives me a beautiful feeling. This is something that you witness every day, right?
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
As a business person, how long have you been selling fish?
I'm here for like 6 months now.
6 months is enough time. So tell me, is the fish business profitable to you? You make money, right?
Yeah.
What are the different kinds of fish that you sell?
My major kind of fish that brought me here is the Captain and the Foba.
One thing I know, I'm surprised about it, but that's the reality. Fish in Kribi is quite expensive, but I know that this is a season of fish, right? So are there a moderation in prices right now?
1.5. That's why, because the fish is everywhere. You can, if you don't sell for me, I can buy from another different man. Yeah. So you don't have to make yourself
so don't
big.
Brag.
You don't
no
need to brag. No bragging.
All right,
here.
now tell me, do you have some difficulties? Are there some problems that you face so far?
That is when I buy fish. I find it difficult to sell it back in this particular place, this lounge here. So when I try to keep them, maybe in the cold room, waiting for somebody to buy, or I'm thinking of where to shift it to sell it.
Point in time, you're still waiting for the boat, right?
Yes.
I'm also waiting for it, and I'm dying to see the kind of catch that the people have made. All right, so let's wait, right?
Yeah.
All right. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly the fishing spirit here in Lungi. Of course, we are talking Kribi, and any moment from now, let's say by 9:30, 10, the fishermen will be coming, and trust me, you would have a whole variety. Let's talk the bar, let's talk the captain, and other variety of fishes. So come on, wait with me. See you later. The village of Longi is a small but very busy environment. Their main occupation is fishing.
First day we enter Kenuko water, come back, I see my money. Now so the rent house, I pay my house 15,000 for 1 month, I chop a year fine. I don't think go no country again. Because this country, any man is fine for stay for a country.
And yes, like I told you, it's all foreign at this point in time. While we're still waiting for the local fishermen to arrive and start on with their sale, we have yet another very powerful local fisherman right here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine.
What's your name, please?
Francis.
All right. Now, Francis, this is my preoccupation. How long have you been doing fishing?
About 10 years now.
10 years is quite a long time.
Yes.
Now, so tell me life in the seas.
You know sleep fine. You know eat fine. You know moving fine. Like as we do for up of a tire.
Let's talk about the meat of Mami Water. Is there Mami Water in the sea? Yeah, really.
I don't see Mami Water one day.
Oh, you saw it?
Mm-hmm.
Describe it. How was it like?
It be like woman be up, woman be down fish.
Really?
Really.
Wow. Did it see you?
No.
How did you feel? Were you scared? Did you scream?
I fear. My first time to say I fear.
It's not the first time you're seeing it?
Yes.
You've seen it many times?
2 times.
In the night or during the day?
First day be the day of 3 o'clock, sometime. Second time it be around 6:30 for morning time. No, so I see Mami Water. And anytime they come for there, if you not get bad spirit with him, they keep you.
I'm curious to see the Mami Water too, but I'm so scared of getting into the boat with you. But I guess someday, somehow, we are going to do it.
Okay.
That is exactly what's happening right here. You just spoke to one of the main fishermen in the locality. But then, ladies and gentlemen, just sit there, relax, stay calm. We are also waiting as well. And any moment from now, we will be having the local boats making their way. And the business persons, they are still here. They are waiting patiently. Then, just don't worry. Hold on. We are right here with you. We will be giving you the feedback. It is 11:30 a.m. The boats have finally arrived. They make their way through a narrow path where customers are waiting.
Il ne parle pas bien français.
It's been a very, very beautiful ride. We've been here since 6 a.m. just to witness the ambience, how the local fishermen go into the sea, how the business persons come here to wait on them to come back. And they have made an honorable comeback. They have different species. Talk of the captain, talk of the bar, any other one, you would definitely find it. And remember, this is the season. If you want to eat some fish, please join me. Come to Kribi and you'll have the best right from the sea. From my end to you, it's bye-bye. Thank you very much, Joyce Abigail, giving us an eye full of Longi Beach in the early hours of each day. She says there's a lot of fish over there in Kribi, and that the prices consequently have just dropped. If you're thinking of buying fish, this could be the right time for you to go that way. Now, let me give you an idea of how your weather
is looking like before you step out. If you are in Douala in the littoral region, expect a cloudy day with occasional rain, mainly in the morning. Your temperature will be, your chance of rain is quite high. It's quite high in almost all the parts of the country. In Douala, it is 70%. If you are in Yaoundé, from where we are broadcasting, it's you're going to have about 21 degrees throughout the day. It's a mostly cloudy day, as we earlier said, and your chance of rain is 80%. And if you're in the Bolova, it's in the south region. It's a cloudy day as well. Thunderstorms expected, and your chance of rain is 80% as well. In Betua, which is not very far from there, the chance of rain is a bit lower, is 60%, and you're going to have a mix of clouds and a sun with scattered thunderstorms around the city. If you're in Bamenda in the northwest region, good morning to you, watching us from Abakwa. If you're in Dop, if you're in Misaje, or me getting into trouble there, you have thunderstorms expected for a mostly cloudy day, and your temperature, your chance of rain is 100%. Wherever you are in Bamenda, expect rain and go out ready for it. We'll give you some more weather forecasts after some laughter. Please, this is our drama page, and Calvino Walang is telling us about people who go stealing in Boya area. Please, recently we heard about people who steal in churches. Calvino has a story about stealing. Just watch. Smart guy, Calvino Walang. Let them laugh. That's what you say, right? We are laughing. Thank you for that moment of laughter today. They say when you laugh, you add some years to your age. Thank you for adding some to us. Before we go tell you what are the things we recommend that you should watch on the CRTV today, because Ruth NJ is around. Let me give you your weather forecast in full before we go do that. If you're watching us from Boya, expect light rain and thunderstorms, and your chance of rain, of course, is 100%. You should go out ready for rain. If you're in Bafusa in the west region, it's mostly cloudy, thunderstorms likely, and your chance of rain is 100. Nothing else to say about that. If we're going up north, if you're in Garwa, it's a partly cloudy day, followed by scattered thunderstorms towards the afternoon, and your chance of rain is 40%. And if you're in Gaoundé in the Adamawa, it's cloudy, thunderstorms expected as well. Your chance of rain equally 100. There's a lot of rain expected around the country, so go out ready. If you're far up north, if you're in Marwa or maybe around Kolofata, we're sending you special greetings this morning on Hello Cameroon. Your chance of rain is 40%. You're going to be having scattered thunderstorms. It's very variable. so we couldn't tell exactly what your temperature will be. But stay with us, stay with the CRTV. We'll be doing our best to accompany you throughout the day of today. And now we tell you the programs we would like you to watch on the CRTV. Ruth Angel, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm great.
All right, tell me, what should I watch?
But I need to sing the song first, like rain, rain, go away, come again another
come again another day. Another day, like Thursday, like which day?
No, like weekend when you're in bed and putting on some
weekend,
socks.
No,
yeah, you stay in bed. It's a good... Anyway, coming up on CRTV this Tuesday, 10 a.m. Health Watch. It's a magazine you must watch. And this time, they'll be talking about club food can be treated. You know about club food? I was just told a while ago it's a bone malfunction. So you want to find that out on CRTV this morning, 10 a.m. Don't miss out the rendezvous. Health Watch, club food, it can be treated in case you have one, in case you have a neighbor or a child, or you know someone who has club food. But just tell the person, watch CRTV 10 a.m. on Health Watch. It can be treated. And then at 10:30, I'm taking you to the Northwest region, and this time is about something that's very mouth-watering. It is slow boys. Do you see where I'm coming from? Congo meat.
By this time, you're on your own because the crowd that you're pulling towards you, all those Congo meat eaters, we greet you.
Slow boys, Congo meat, Nyamangara. Of course, the people of Southwest know what I'm talking about when it's a melange inside Aero. Oh, I'm hungry. 10:30, snails farming in the Northwest region. But this time, the Northwest people are trying to inculcate it into their culture, because some people from the Northwest, they say, I don't know that thing. That thing that walks on the floor, I don't eat it. It's not part of our culture. But of course...
Very nutritious, though.
It is very...
Once you get past all those issues, it's very healthy for you.
Of course, I've eaten. Testimony. Snails farming in the Northwest is coming your way 10:30 a.m. The challenge is, how does it take to grow snails? You want to find that out at 10:30 a.m. on this magazine. Then I'll be taking you to 12:30. That's when you're having your lunch break. And this time it is Midi Live on the CRTV. We're living it all the way with Myra. And this particular day, we're having someone who opens his mouth and angels just accompanies him to sing. That's Parfait Ekani. And he calls himself a contre-tenor. I don't know what that means in English.
We'll discover at 12:30.
At 12:30.
When Myra now takes over.
Oh, yes, Myra now. And then Chef Angulo is doing something yummy in the kitchen. You know, something that grows on trees. And you want to watch that on Midi Live. And of course, you stay trendy, you stay classy, you stay glam, and you stay sassy on the CRTV. That's at 12:30, Midi Live with Myra NAO. And then at 4 p.m., Sports Parade on the sport is good for your health, is good for your well-being. So find out on Sport Parade what they will have on their menu today on the CRTV. That's at 4 p.m. And then on Follow Me with the Follow Girls. This time they're talking about talent, because Cameroon got lots and lots of talent, plenty. Coco Bertin will be on the hot seat with someone who does robotics, and this time is not a male, but is a female. She's daring, very daring, and guess what? She's so young. She's an upset student. I don't want to call her name, but I'm just inviting you to watch the extraordinary talents of Cameroon on Follow Me today at 5 p.m. on the CRTV. Don't miss out with Elena and her nouveau partenaire on the CRTV. And then at 8 p.m., this exciting, this very cultural magazine. We are talking about someone who has been reigning since 1984 in the times of the Germans. This is someone very, very...
Paramount Chief Zokokuna.
Yes, very, very serene. You want to watch. He was called a warrior. He's someone who brings terror to his people. That's how he was described. So you don't want to miss out this documentary, Histoire de Chef Supérieur Zogo Kuna Ngonodo Mangisa. Don't miss out on the CRTV at 8 p.m. and then at 9:05 p.m. on the CRTV, C'est Politique with Aimé Robert Biena. In case you thought it was gone? It is back.
It is around.
Say politics is back. It is around. So political minds, if you want to be informed about our political issues of the country, Say Politique will be your program, 9:05 p.m. on the CRTV. And then at 10:35 on the CRTV, you'll be having Menace Phantom. Menace Phantom, Devil's Advocate. Do you love Ghost? Okay. You need to watch that at 10:05 p.m. But before I go, I want to call on you to watch some documentary or some film of this very great lady of South Africa, Winnie Mandela. Mrs. Mandela. That will be on Wednesdays on the CRTV at 9 p.m. Don't miss out on that. But Pochi, I leave you to say bye-bye.
Indeed, that's a good way to wrap it up. Mrs. Mandela on Wednesday. It's a great docudrama that we are preparing to give you on Wednesday. You have to stay with us. Ruth and Jay will be back here on Thursday for another Hello Cameroon moment.
God willing.
Right now, we are moving so that l'équipe de Bonjour should start preparing to serve you from 6 a.m. tomorrow to 9 a.m. For us here, it's bye-bye. Have a beautiful day ahead. And as we always say, choose how your day should be, and don't let anybody drag you into another color. If it's pink, paint it pink. If it's today I'm black and red, try telling me how it feels. All right, have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. See you on Thursday.
Oh,